super well. Oh, we're fine. I can talk about my old relationship.
Oh, okay.
But like my last relationship, it was going super well, like super well. And then her family decided they didn't like us because we were gay. And then she decided that that was more important than what we had. And I was like,
then that's her. That you are not.
yeah, I was
the
like,
one.
if you're gonna
She's
pick
not
your
the one.
abusive family over
Yeah,
like
then
a
she's
good
not the one.
relationship, yeah,
Because I'm
like,
gonna tell you right now, even if she decided, okay, I'm gonna go with you, I'm gonna follow you everywhere. That bitch has some fucking issues if she's gonna stay in an abusive family and choose them
yeah.
over you, and you can't fix that shit. And she probably won't be able until she's like 35. So just
Yeah.
you
Oh
just
no,
can't.
that's over. But it's just like
Yeah.
I'm a little burned for like
Well, yeah.
being right, like, because I mean, yeah, relationships are difficult, and then like
They are.
I'm just not in a good position to do a whole lot of stuff. I wish, like, I don't know. I wish my life was more stable sometimes.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? When you're done with this, you're gonna be like a stable motherfucker. Like you're gonna have a fucking job no matter where you want to live or where you go or what happens or who you could fucking contract with
Yeah.
some cool shit and be traveling around and saving fucking poor people like you want to do. Like, you know, you have so much ahead of you, and you're gonna find that person that is like-minded and medically minded and is interested in it and helps you towards your goals. And you know, it sucks. I mean, look at me. I'm fucking 50 and I've been looking, you know. You still have so much time to look, bro. You got so much time to look, you know?
Yeah.
So
Oh, the chat wants to know if you're okay, Ben.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just like, I was describing to B that like being in med school is great and I love it, and I wouldn't choose like any other career path to be on. But at the same time, like I've missed out on a lot of things that I wish I could have, and part of that's due to being queer and being trans and like not having the opportunity to develop like romantic relationships earlier on in my life like I would have had if I was a cis man. I would have had those opportunities to pursue those kinds of relationships. So like I'm behind there in with like compared to my med school friends, but then it's almost like that meme where somebody is like drowning and then somebody else walks by, gives them a high five, and then just like keeps going on and they're stuck there drowning. It's like how I feel sometimes with like, because I get told like every day by people, especially online, like you're doing great things for the trans community, like it's awesome what you're doing, like keep doing what you're doing, but then like I still feel like I'm drowning, and like I go back to like knowing that it's another day grinding towards the next thing. I live alone. I don't have any other people that I see except for like my attending who's kind of abusive right now. And,
oh god, yeah.
So just this is like, because like the academic stress too is like it's a lot of pressure, and it's meant, you're pretty much like, it's like the daily humility, I guess I want to call it, because it's just a daily feeling of like feeling like you're stupid and not good enough. So then you've got those feelings, and then you go home and you're alone, and you got nobody to talk to, and you got like,
buddy, I'm sorry.
And you're just like, I'm alone, and I do this every day, and it's great. I love it, but it's still a little bit of a crisis sometimes. So that's where I'm at a little bit. So it's just been like a little like, and it comes in waves sometimes. Like I put these blinders on like most of the time. Like I'm a very goal oriented person, and like I put these blinders on of just like get to the goal, like just do what I got to do. But then sometimes I look back and I'm like, sometimes I feel like the blinders are hindering me from like other areas that I could be happy in. So like places where I might have been able to compromise, I didn't because I was such a gunner. And now I'm like, is it worth it to like be such a gunner? But I don't know. Just me kind of spouting my thoughts.
No, I can dig it though. I can dig it. Like I've had when I tried to have relationships, for instance, when I was a truck driver. It's damn near impossible. You're never home
Mhm.
unless they're going to go with you, you know, and I never found anybody that wanted to jump in a truck and ride along with me while I was fucking making money. So even though I was paying all the bills and she wasn't working anyway. So, you know, like with me and my ex, Jen, we were fucking together, you know, 2.5 years, and I was a truck driver the whole time, and everything was great. And then I was home more and it wasn't so great anymore because at first we only got to see each other once a month. I was gone for 3.5 weeks, and then I'd be home for like 5-7 days, and I'd go back out again. So it was exciting to see each other, you know. Oh, haven't seen you in 3.5 weeks. We've only talked on the phone. I miss you, you know. And then when you get into that day-to-day life stuff and you see each other all the time, and then you're like, oh, well, this isn't going so well. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't us, it was really your kid. But you know, but the bottom line is, you know, she listened to her 8-year-old kid who said he didn't want me around. And so she broke up with me.
Wait, why?
Because so her and her husband got divorced, and they were divorced. Like, her and I met, and we were crazy about each other, and she left her husband and she divorced him. And it was just too soon. Like, we rented a duplex. It was a house in upstate New York. It was beautiful in this little town called Narrowsburg. It's very like eclectic, progressive, you know, they don't care who the fuck you are. Don't be an asshole kind of place like I live now. And we rented this house that was a duplex. I had one side, she had one side. And I was, you know, I would go over there and I slept on my side a couple times and stuff. But basically we'd put the kids to bed, and I'd crawl in bed with her and then get up, and I'd be in the kitchen when they got up in the morning. They thought I came over, you know, kind of thing. So we did that for a while. And then eventually I just moved in with her, and he did not like me. And to this day, he actually feels bad. He's 19 years old and he's in college now. And he's a really good kid. He's really screwed up from the shit his father had pulled on him his whole life. And I kind of got the brunt of it. And she decided that she had to do it for her son. So, yeah. So that was my one and only heartbreak in this world. And it fucked me up for a couple of years. And so, yeah, sometimes work, and, you know, you have to fucking do shit. You know, I had goals. I had stuff I was fucking working towards. And that's what I was a truck driver. So the rest of the time I drove truck, I dated some people and stuff, and I met Amy, and right when I stopped driving truck and we were together, and I ended up going back to driving truck because she got sick, and then our relationship went to shit. And, you know, so I don't know. She turned psycho though after she had the trach and she couldn't fucking be a paramedic anymore. She went fucking crazy on me.
She had a trach?
Yeah, she has hereditary angioedema.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And how it presents is, for instance, she stubbed her toe on a rock in the garden and her throat swelled up and she couldn't breathe.
God.
That's where hers presented at. Her daughter's, every time her daughter has her period, her lips swell and her mouth swells right here.
It's an inability to inhibit complement.
Yeah.
To inhibit what?
Complement proteins are part of your immune system. Like, they're what cause like a lot of those like anaphylactic reactions sometimes. If you have too many of them, like most people have a complement protein that will inhibit the other ones so that the response dies down. But in people with hereditary angioedema, they're missing the inhibitor. So they can't inhibit the response. It just keeps going and going and going until it kills them.
God.
So her and her daughter, I think it used to be 3 times a week. I don't know what they're doing with it now. They're actually starting to make a pill. They're working on making a pill that's probably made by now, because this was months and months ago. We talked about this maybe a year ago. Anyways, so they have to like start an IV in themselves. So they have like a line, and Carly did. Her and her mother are genetically have shitty veins that blow and are really hard. They're really tiny. They're horrible to fucking hit. So they ended up putting ports in both of them. So they both have a port in their chest, and they inject right into the port, and they, put the shit in and blah, blah, blah. I've helped her mix it and everything.
We were supposed to insert a port today, but the people canceled procedure.
Oh, man, really?
We're supposed to insert a port today.
That shit's cool. Yeah,
it's just a minor procedure. We're also supposed to do a hernia repair, but that also got canceled. So,
yeah, but she has other issues too. She has like a pacemaker. She got she was in the volunteer group study of the first ones they made, and they put them in. I think, like she said, like 13 people or something like that, and 3 of them lived, and she was one, and then 2 of them died later. She's like, I think there's 1 more guy left, but there's only 2 of them alive from it. And it was the first ones they came out with that were really small and thin. And now she's got an updated version, and it's like Bluetooth to a device in her house. This is really cool for anybody that doesn't know about this. So she looks kind of like a router for your internet, and it sits in her house, has antennas on it and shit. And just to pick up Wi-Fi, if you have to use Wi-Fi, you can't plug it in directly. And it reads off of her ever so often. It reads off of her pacemaker, and it sends a report to the company so they know what's going on. And if she has any kind of event, it automatically gets a hold of the company and calls 911. That's how cool it is. And she can also, like, the newer one she has, I believe she can like look at it on her phone and see what her stats have been on her phone from her pacemaker. But anyway, so yeah, so her and her daughter have to do injections of C1 estrase, like used to be 3 times a week. And now she actually found a job. She's not a paramedic anymore. She found a job. They finally removed her trach last year. It's healing up good. She's doing great. She's had no reactions or anything. She started this process in 2013. So it took them 7 years to finally get her balanced out where they could remove that trach, and she wasn't afraid to die. But the cool thing is when you guys go and donate plasma and stuff like that, you help those people. Also, she got a job with this new company that's working on doing the pill, and she goes around and talks at conferences. She speaks at conferences now, and with her medical knowledge of being a paramedic and everything she's been through, and she was kind of like started doing this years ago when not very many people were doing it, and they didn't know what was wrong with a lot of people. Her allergist actually caught it. He gave her a full panel allergy thing on her back. Everything came out negative, and he goes, "So this is what I think." And he's like, "This is what we can do for you. So sit there and think about it, because you're going to have to inject yourself all the time. This is going to be rough. It's going to suck at first, and you'll get used to it, and you can get rid of that trach eventually." And he walked out of the room, and we sat there and read the pamphlet, and we talked about it, and I Googled it, and we found out a bunch of information. We were in there for like 30 minutes, and he just left us in there. And I said, "What do you think?" She's like, "I don't know." And I said, what choice do you have right now?" And she just kind of looked at me, and I said, we're at the end of it. You're not allergic to anything. There's nothing else we can try. The shitty thing is there's no way, at the time at least, there was no way to really like diagnose the person with it. So they just put her on C1 estrase. She started taking it. Her attacks went down, and she has a breakthrough med that she can also inject if she has a breakthrough and she gets swelling because she hurts herself. And it's keeping her alive. It's fucking amazing. She'd be dead. The last time she went in the hospital when she got the trach, the reason she ended up with the trach is, and she was only like from the point of her reaction starting to getting there, it was less than 30 minutes. It was about 20, 25 minutes. They had her in there, and they couldn't fit an infant-sized trach in her throat. Her throat had swelled up so much, and they had to cut a hole in it. And that ER is such a small town emergency room that if I went in there and mentioned her name and said something about a trach, they'd be like, "Oh, I know you." Like they were all like, "Oh, that's the one we did the trach on," because they never get shit like that. They're a small town, no trauma unit, fucking ER, and they saved her life. So there you have it. Yeah, if we were designed, we'd have a port. And no, actually, Tubian, if we were properly designed, not only would we have a port, but nobody would, all these problems we have, we wouldn't fucking have shit. It would only be like traumatic injuries and stuff. You know, we got people babies born with congenital heart failure and shit. You know, That's not intelligent design. That's just bad genes. Anyways, I'm done preaching. You guys go ahead.
It's a serious open mic tonight.
I know. I'm just
serious.
like, I can't keep up with this.
Oh, should I go take my Adderall again?
No. I probably.
Oh,
should.
okay. I was just picking on myself.
I'm waiting for my stew to heat up. I'm gonna eat some.
Oh, good. Got it in the Instapot?
Yep. Yeah,
There
I
you
do
go.
like the same. You and I do things the same way. I just leave it in the giant pot and then heat it up. And then, because each time you heat it up, like the meat only gets more tender, so it's like it's not bad.
Yeah,
Just
but
do
you
that.
have to heat it up slow. So the Instapot's
Yeah.
great for that.
Yeah.
It's not like thrown in a pan that's really hot, you know.
Yeah, I throw it
So-
in there for like a half hour or so.
Speaking of cooking, have I ever told you guys I love to fucking cook? I miss cooking, like cooking like I
I
used to.
fucking
You
hate
know.
cooking.
Oh, I love it as long as somebody else does the dishes.
No, I have a. Well, I mean, I have dishes, but like I have a plasticware, and so I can just throw the shit out when I'm done because I hate anything that you have to do in the kitchen.
Really, I love cooking, and actually, Heather loves to cook too, and she's fucking amazing. And I told her, I said, I want to like cook with you, like because we both love cooking so much, and we'll be at work, and she's like doing dishes. I'm like, what are you doing dishes for? Those are mine, and you're the fucking provider. And she's like, I like doing dishes. It's a little break between paps and pelvics. It's like it just gives me something to do for a minute that's just brainless and I could just process shit. So bro, what up, bro? I love cooking too. Do you do too? Who else likes cooking? What's your favorite dish, Ben? What's your favorite dish to make?
To make or to eat?
Well, give me both. First one to make and the second one to eat.
I like making stews because I don't got to do anything about it.
There
I
you
just do it in
go.
the pot.
Cut it all up, throw it in the pot, spices.
And then
Right.
to eat, you all know I love Indian food, but that shit takes forever to make, like all day. So I'm not.
I know.
I've made it
yeah.
before, but it takes all day. So
It does.
I'm
It
just
only
gonna
takes
stick to
20
my
minutes
stew.
if you order it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right. That's right.
Exactly.
What about you, Maya? What is there anything you like to cook besides
don't.
like a pizza in the oven?
Oh no, I hate that shit. I refuse. The pizza's got to be like real.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
at least if you're gonna make a pizza, just buy the crust. You don't have to make the crust because crusts are crust. But putting all the toppings on and making it all homemade, it's so much fucking better. So
Yeah.
much better.
no, I don't.
What's your
like-
favorite?
I actually don't
what's
like
your-
eating though.
You don't like
It's-
eating?
No, it's annoying. So there's like all this shit that I need to do in the day, and like food just slows me down.
Ben,
Ben's like, "What the fuck?
do you see
Do
the
I have a
polar
kick button for
opposite
Maya?"
Do you
What?
see the polar opposites between me and you and her? Although I'm like Maya right now with this fucking Adderall. Look, I'm not even kidding.
Oh
you
yeah, I've been on
guys.
Adderall for like 10 years. It made it way worse.
Look, it's serious. This is how bad it was yesterday. So I went to work. I had coffee, right? Because I sip coffee all day long. I don't drink a lot of it. I'll go through like 3 cups in an entire day, but I just sip it slow. And it helps. I love it, and it helps keep my blood sugar level. It's just enough blood sugar level, like evened out. It's just enough sugar to kind of help me level. So I went to work yesterday. I never eat breakfast. I went to work yesterday, and I think I ate. Oh, Heather made this homemade pumpkin bread, and she brought it in. So I ate a piece of that, and I had 4 of those Frito scoops, 2 of them with hummus. And then when I got back to work today, I ate again. I didn't eat last night, and I'm fucking just not hungry. I'm just not hungry. I just don't, and I don't fucking care because as long as I don't feel like shit and I feel good and I have energy, I know my body and I know when I have to eat. So I was at work today and I texted Heather and she was at her house and she's off, but she was coming in to get some work done. And I was like, dude, I'm so hungry. I said, this is horrible. You have to make me eat today. I said, I haven't eaten shit. And she's like, oh crap, I'll pick up food. So me and Michelle and her, like Michelle put an order and she picked it up and brought food in, and I fucking went to eat that, and I was just like, this. And it's funny because I don't feel hungry, but if I start eating, I'm like, this is so fucking good. You know what I mean? But I'm just not motivated to go get food. It's weird. So but I don't sit here and eat junk food all night long like I used to, and chips and popcorn and fucking candy bars. So
Are you serious?
Mikey's
in the chat. Let's talk about him.
Oh,
fuck him. Let's just ignore him. That'll get him worse. No, what did you say, Maya?
nothing. I'm being a bitch.
What did you say?
I don't remember.
Oh, fucking say it.
I don't remember.
You know I love your
No,
bitchy
I really
shit.
don't remember. It
It's
was like
funny.
something stupid. It was just like a stupid comment because I'm Maya, and that's what I do.
Yeah, well, if you didn't, I'd be disappointed.
Right?
just saying.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he caught me after work, and I'm like all like Adderall free, and it's really hard like remembering anything, like, what the flow of a conversation. And you and Dr. Ben are always in here talking like the, what do you call it, medical stuff, and I'm like,
Oh, we talk about everything. We don't
All
talk
right.
just medical. We just both love medical, so sometimes it's brought up more. But
yeah, I've been in the medical
That's not
field
all
for
the
like
time.
10 years,
and you don't want to hear about it?
no, like you would think I'd catch on, but I'm just like, okay, what does this mean though?
It's the only thing I do with my life, so I
Yeah.
don't have much else
literally.
to talk about.
Mac and Ox and somebody else. I saw somebody else.
Jupit.
Who else came in?
Jupit.
Oh, I've
Jupit
been
Poo-Poo.
talking to Jupit though. I've
Oh,
been making
Jupit
comments and
Poo-Poo.
talking to Jupit.
Yeah, I didn't even know about
Mikey.
Jupit.
That's right,
Apparently,
Mikey.
Jupit crawled under a rock for a while and just came out of it. Jupit's like a cicada or something.
Jupit only disappeared from me and Ben for like 2 weeks, but was in here all the time, hanging out with us for like, I don't know, a month or something. I know it's Jupit.
Oh, Matt.
No. I'm just talking about my experience with Jupit because sometimes it's not always about you, B.
Mac liked my abortion video from.
Wait a minute, it's not about me. I can't talk about my girlfriend all night.
Jupit?
Fuck. I promised Ben I wouldn't fucking preach about her anymore.
You can do it on
He
your
said,
stream.
It's been 3 days. Stop.
You can do it on your stream. You just can't do it on my stream.
No, I don't want to do it. It's fine. It's fine. I'll just sit here with my permagrin. It's fine. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say anything about her at all. Nothing about her at all. No, that's not what I said, Jupit. What the fuck? I didn't say you're a girl. I didn't say anything about you. I said my girl, my girlfriend.
Yeah, I called Jupit a girl because I'm fucking with both you and Jupit at once. Jupit's your girlfriend now.
Ox said, I've been mental in a field. Is that close enough? No. No, it's not the same thing.
I want to.
Girlfriend, Mikey. I know, right?
I want to show
What?
We pee, we poo.
The pee pee with the poo poo of the he-they. How are you?
I'm suffering.
Oh, do you want a hug?
No.
I'm really a good hugger. Like everybody tells me.
You're fine. You're fine.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I had a very long day.
Yeah, it was a long day.
Oh,
This is the everyone's
You know what?
suffering except B stream.
Is it just me?
He doesn't suffer.
Shut up.
We never suffered.
Is it just me, or for everybody, including people in chat? You guys tell me. I feel like the day was so slow at work.
No.
No,
It just
it
felt like it was
long as fuck.
It was just like every day at work, I'm like, I need to get through work. I'm like OJ in the fucking airport trying to get to the flight, you know?
No.
And I'm
I
just
only
moving
had a
slow,
half day because our
slow-mo.
surgeries got canceled, but
I had a full
I-
day, and all I did was write on cakes, pick up boxes, and cry internally. And then I came home and ate a really nice birthday dinner and suffered because of lactose intolerant.
Wait,
It's your
it's your
birthday?
birthday?
Yes.
What the
Wait,
fuck?
Happy birthday, Jupit.
wait. We need
Waiting.
to sing happy
What?
birthday to Jupiter.
No, I will
Oh,
leave.
what?
I
Can
will
I
leave.
put
I'll
it-
do it.
Can I shut down the
I'll
stream
do
by
it.
playing the happy birthday song instead?
No consent was given for the song.
I
You gotta respect.
will leave.
We
You will
gotta
not
respect
see me for the
consent.
next 2 weeks.
Ollie
How
said, "There's a
rude.
cat. Everybody
You
drink
should
or
let
joke."
us like make you sit there uncomfortably while we sing badly.
I'm
Okay,
already
fine. I'm just gonna say this. Happy
Hi.
birthday to
I'm
you.
gonna fucking
And
bye.
and I hope tomorrow's better. And I'm sorry you're having a shit
Maybe.
day.
Maybe. I
Maybe,
don't know.
maybe not. I don't know.
Depends. Does
So
it
on a
depend on
happy
the
topic.
Oh no.
On a
Yes,
happy
Ben.
topic. This is my merch. Well, some of my merch. I'm wearing my merch. I gotta show you the back, but I'm in a chair, so
What does that mean?
I don't know if you can see it.
Nuance
Nuance
is greater than simplicity.
I have a
Mhm.
hole in my pants.
Oh, nice. Okay, now that I thought about it, instead of just reading it.
As I messed up my green screen.
Max said happy birthday. Marie said happy birthday.
gonna
Sandy
f-
said happy birthday. Commander
Somebody-
gave you a little birthday cake. Make sure they're lactose free, Commander, before you give out cakes
no.
and cupcakes.
I still will eat lactose. I
okay.
don't show any fear.
I'm lactose intolerant as well, and I do the same.
Oh,
I'm-
Mikey
okay.
needs a wrench.
Because no one
Hold on,
needs
I'll be
normal
right-
bowel habits. That's
Oh
stupid.
fuck no. So I'm not only lactose intolerant, but I'm also allergic to coconuts, and that's another great colon cleaning.
Oh, good.
Except it's like way worse. It's painful, but
Oh, no.
oh yeah. Anyhow, enough about pee and poo poo jokes. Possibly.
Pee pee poo poo.
I don't think there's enough pee pee and poo poo jokes.
I mean, why do you think my
As long
name
as you're
is
using those words, I feel like it's fine.
Why do you think I'm constantly using that pee pee and the poo poo name?
I would love to know why your name is what it is.
Because I'm very stupid and very predictable.
It's from Math Pig's stream like a while back.
Yeah, a good like
Wait,
month or
you
so.
haven't
now.
been here a while. How do you know this?
It's a joke because I think it was on Math Pig's stream when this happened, and it became a joke.
Yeah.
So he came on as pee pee poo poo, but didn't have. Oh, he just had the avatar, and then like
feel like
everyone
I've
was
done that.
confused about who pee pee poo poo was, and then
Yeah.
it became this joke because like everyone was so confused on this stream, and then later on, other people kept changing their names to pee pee poo poo, and it was a mess. So that's why it's so funny.
Where
Okay.
the fuck is it? Oh yeah, there it is.
Also,
Okay.
Mikey would like a wrench.
Yeah, I just went on here to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
just
you
doing
you
that.
should like rush
give
because
Cupid
he's
one,
kind of
too.
throwing a little fit about it in the chat. I wouldn't want him to cry or anything.
I want him to
Yeah,
cry.
I know.
You know how Mikey
Sometimes he's
is.
I want him
Yeah.
to cry.
Sometimes
and
he's kind
suffer.
of girly, but he's a good guy. I put up with him. It's fine.
But like, what if I want him to suffer?
Ooh.
Ollie said, happy birthday. Now you're 1 year older. Happy birthday. Your life still isn't over. Happy birthday. You did not accomplish much, but you didn't die this year. I guess that's good enough. Hey, Ollie, you're a dick. No, that's pretty funny, though.
I'm about to like leave for another 2 weeks. I found my screenshot and I'm gonna go post.
Well, how did I get the pleasure of this, sir?
Will the real pee pee poo poo please stand up? No, I'm too comfortable.
The real pee pee poo poo is not standing up because they're high. So whoever stands up and says they're the real pee pee poo poo, you know they're fucking lying. That's what I say about
That's me right now.
it. Word, man.
Wait, hold
I'm
on.
gonna see if my shoe's ready.
I smoke every night. Fuck that shit.
I can't do
love-
that
I
because
love
it fucks with my. A whole long story, but I can't do it too often because it fucks with my everything. So I
Like
have to.
like oil or
No,
herb?
no. Hold on. I'll write this in chat.
Is Angry Worms a band?
Is who?
Arrogant Worms. I'm sorry. I'm old.
Arrogant Worms is a band? I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
Sure.
they got some weird fucking names out there these days. Josh! That's the other fucker I saw. He's married. That's not your job. What do you mean, Josh? I'm confused. What does that mean? Light a bowl with a Zippo. Actually, my fucking lighter died, and I was like, I'm gonna stop. I'm so ADD. I'm gonna stop after work, and I'm gonna buy a new fucking lighter, right? And yesterday, I knew that I was almost out. I went and bought cigarettes. Didn't buy a fucking lighter. Walked right out of the fucking store. I'm like, all right. So I get here,
Hold on. How many do I have left?
go home, go to work, come home. Guess what? Didn't buy a fucking lighter again, and now my lighter's all the way dead. So
Oh,
here we
I
are.
only have 2 left. Oh, well, fuck me in the butt. I only have 2 left. That's okay.
Fuck you. Man, this conversation escalated quickly. What you got to say?
I say everything out loud, and I don't have a filter.
What's a filter?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Chico,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I stopped giving a shit, so it's okay. I got 1 year older. My back hurts, my wrist hurts, everything hurts. I feel like a boomer. And I just
Feel like a boomer. What does is our boomers like 60 right now and above or something?
I forgot the age. I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. So, like a baby boomer, yeah, they're really old. They're probably almost they're over 70. Well, the oldest ones of them are over 70 right now.
What
46
is that?
Well, baby boomers is 46 to 64.
Oh,
boomers.
really?
But when somebody
it
says,
depends on who you talk to because
yeah.
Oh my God, the arguments I've gotten into. But my social psychology teacher told me that it started in 46 because all the boys came back from war and the war ended in 45. They came home, started fucking. So the boomers were born 9 months later, which puts you into 46. And then the cohort would stop in 63, 64 because birth control pills came out in 63. So that's generally why I agree with pee poo poo with those dates. But a lot of people like to push it back to 45 and the end date gets kind of weird with people. And I don't know why you would have other dates for baby boomers, but
it's the boom. It's just
that was the boom.
first
Those were the years of the boom. So
Yeah.
I don't know why there would be other dates.
Because people are really, really dumb.
Marie said the boomers are currently 57 to 75.
Yes.
I'm not going to do math in my head.
And Ox said I just made it to boomerhood by 1 year is what
I mean, I don't know. When people talk about, when we're talking about the cohort, that's what that is. But like when you're boomer, colloquially, or at least on the internet, is anybody who has the mindset and it is ageless.
Right.
Also, boomer is also a giant meme where if I call you a boomer, well, shit, man. I can't explain that other than sucks.
No, yeah, and that's what I was just saying. Like, it's a mindset.
It would actually, Ox, it would have to be between 46 and 64 for those numbers to work that Marie has. I just did the math in my head real quick. So it would have to be 46 to 64 for them to be 57 through 75 right now. There you go.
Numbers.
I like numbers. I like simple math. I can do it in my head while I'm doing other stuff. It doesn't bother me. I can look at a number, and if I say it to myself 2 or 3 times in a row, I'll remember it for hours until I don't want to anymore.
No, I can't do that.
It's the only skills I have, and they don't make me any fucking money.
No, I can't do that. I see numbers backwards. So instead of 73, I might see 37. I also can't really read numbers or say numbers. I'm just dumb.
I think I gave Catnip a link, but I'll put one in here in case her or Mikey or somebody wants to come in.
There's a link in there.
Spooky says you're the boomer.
Yeah, it's just a ways up now. In many ways, I miss the greatest generation. That would be my grandparents' generation. My grandfather never went to college, but he knew how the FDIC and the banking system worked. Yeah, my mother was born in 1942 on All Saints Day, in the middle of the war, and cool story. And so my grandmother, my Nana, gives birth to her. Her twin brother is stillborn, and she finds out when my mom's a month old, month and a half, something like that, old that her husband's already married in another state. So she said, well, then we're not married. And she packed up her shit in 1942 with a month and a half old baby and went to her mom's and said, I got to start over. And her mother and her hung a sheet around part of the living room, and they put a bed in there and one little dresser, and they had 2 bags of stuff, and that's what they had. And my Nana went down to the shipyards and started working for the Navy, repairing for the companies repairing the Navy ships. Well, for the Navy. And she ended up with asbestos lung because she did underwater welding with a suit on that was full of asbestos. So actually, that's not what killed her, though. I mean, it did affect her heart a little bit, and she threw a stroke. She had a stroke through a clot. So yeah, that's she was the original Rosie the Riveter. She worked with 47 men. They treat her like shit, and anytime if she asked them to hand her something, they'd go, get it your fucking self. You're like one of the guys, right? And so she was fed up with them, and she had to go up on a scaffolding. You know, scaffolding's like, 6 feet tall or whatever each part, so you can stand on them, whatever, 7 foot tall. She had to get this welder up on the scaffolding, and she asked one of the guys to help her, and he goes, you can do a man's job, do it yourself. And she goes, fine, I will. So she went over there and took a rope and put it through the scaffolding and made some kind of a pulley system and fucking pulled herself up while she was pulling the fucking thing up in the air. My Nana was 5'1" and weighed like, I don't know, $110 with clothes that are wet on. And she pulled that fucking thing up and got it up there and crawled up there with it and pushed it onto it and let it go. And she started welding. And from that point forward, it was, is there anything we can, no, Miss Imbriano, I'll get that for you. I got it. Let me pick that up for you. And they never fucking did that to her again. And all the guys respected her after that. And they did anything for her. So she worked there for a long time. And finally, she went eventually into the restaurant business, and she got remarried and had my aunt, and she married 2 Navy officers. 2 Navy officers. So yeah, so cool shit. She was a Rosie the Riveter. Every time I look at Rosie, I go, kind of might look like my Nana when she was younger, but I'm doubting it. She was a beast, man. She was a little shit, though. Let me tell you. She was not like grandma where they see you and they go, oh, honey, so come on, let's go make some cookies. No, my Nana was like, you look at you. Go play. I don't want to hear a word. That's basically how she was. She was a fucking hard ass.
I just found the cutest thing on Twitter.
Ooh, what'd you find? I like cute things. Share it.
Somebody, a doctor on Twitter who's non-binary said that they discharged a patient this week who shared that they were happy to have a doctor with the same pronouns as them.
Aww. That's
cute.
fucking great.
Largle.
That's fucking... You know what? That's one of the things... I'm sorry?
No, I found a really funny meme that I've been obsessed with the past couple of days, and it's this cat with a hand like pushing it back, and in the corner it says Blargle. I put it in the Discord memes. Actually, I'll tag you.
Is it in my Discord?
Yeah, I tagged B.
Well, Ben, when it comes to trans stuff, that's really I didn't realize it when I started working there. I didn't realize it when I decided to come out. But about 2 weeks ago, I was like, I'm really influencing these people that have never met a trans person before, or that, just don't know stuff, like I'm influencing just by being me and being nice and just doing my job well and treating them with respect. And I make them laugh, or I make them feel better if they're upset, and they fucking love me, and they just don't give a shit that I'm trans because I'm respectful and I take care of them and do, I do what needs to be done. And it's nice because they don't, when they first talk to me, they don't know I'm trans. And then they come in and they don't know whether to say her or he. And then someone will correct them and they go, oh, because, I talked to that person 2 months ago and it was she and her name was B, what the fuck happened?
Relate.
So then they go, oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Or I just tell them, you know, they're like, is that B? Your voice sounds different. Yeah, because I'm transitioning. Are you really? Yeah, I started a month and a half ago. I've got like 6 shots of tea in me now, 7. Oh, well, good for you. That's great. That takes a lot of courage. You should be proud of yourself. Yes, ma'am, you 79, 80-year-old woman. Yes, I am proud of myself. And they'll say that. I have 85-year-old women that call and joke around with me and stuff, and I make them laugh. And they go, oh, you're such a sweetie. Okay, well, I'll see you soon. You know, like they don't care that I'm fucking trans, and it's amazing. But there's people that walk in and kind of look at me funny. So I'm like, that's okay, because you guys, will teach you. We'll teach you that just because we don't feel like what we were born with does not mean we're fucking horrible, sick people. So I'm busting. I'm going to bust the mold. I'm busting the mold.
I'm a Blargle, officially.
Huh? Wait, did you see Blargle?
Yeah, it's a hilarious meme.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's so good. It's so good.
Blargle. It's a
Blargle.
cute cat, too. It's a really cute cat.
Whoa, hold the phone. Hans, please tell me this is a fucking joke. There's no way. That cannot be real. That is fucking horrid. I hope that's not even, I don't even know. It was the landing that killed him. He landed in wet cement and the death certificate said he drowned. Are you kidding me, dude? Really? How in that dude, like someone was out for him or the universe was or something. Like you ain't coming back from that. Oh God, fuck you, dude. I'm going to kick your ass. You can't do that on my streams. I'm too heartfelt. I think people really died. I always think it's serious.
No, that sounds like several OSHA violations. If someone's dying like that in a construction
site. It's about
site.
30.
Right,
okay,
like,
first of
all, worked
all,
in construction, so can you?
First of all, you shouldn't be able to cut your hand off on a table saw because it should have a cover on it. OSHA violation. Second of all, if he's up high, he should be tied off. He should have fell all the way to the ground. OSHA violation. Also, if they're working up high, they have to have a railing around them. If there was no railing, he fell. OSHA violation. What else you got?
Where's my ship?
And he landed in wet cement and messed up those guys' job. Oh, OSHA. No, I'm kidding. That part's a joke. But there's at least 3 OSHA violations in there, and I could probably come up with more.
Yeah, like here's
like why the hell was there a guy on the construction site with a knife?
No. If Hans says anything at all, it's a joke. Like seriously.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Well, I just met him.
He only
just got to know him recently.
No, he only speaks in sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
Like,
he's like another mice, it seems like.
Okay, that's
I'm highly
now that I know that.
But
roll on, bro. I love it.
It's his only language.
Yeah. No, you have to go up there sometimes, Geo, but there's supposed to be a railing around anything that's higher than 4 feet off the ground. Or 36 inches or 48 inches. Something like that. Maybe it's 36 inches. But there has to be a railing around anything that's higher than any elevated surface that's higher than that. The stairs have to be so short and so wide. Like everything's a fucking regulation. It's insane trying to build those places. There's 5 million goddamn regulations. You have to have like everything guarded off and you have to have it locked so people can't walk in unless they have like a hard hat on and blah, 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 whatever else they have to have on, gloves, boots, proper boots. So yeah, there's lots of,
dude, I should.
No, I did, Ox. I said at the end, but I kind of talked over Maya because I'm an asshole. I said also the fact that the guy was on the site with a big knife and stabbed him, OSHA violation.
No, I think that was your first point, wasn't it?
No, actually, no, I didn't say anything about that at first. I was talking about the line, the railing, the fucking up the cement. I don't think I did. Maybe I don't know, Maya. Maybe I already forgot. Yes, 4 feet for permanent, 6 feet for temporary. Correct, Marine. You have to have a railing, and then once you're over... Oh my God, how many feet in the air is it? 6? Is it 6? Anything over 6 or 8 feet in the air, you have to be tied off? Can't fucking remember now. Unless it was a utility knife used on the job. But those are so short, Sandy, you're not going to stab anybody in the back and like almost kill them with it. Although he didn't say that. He said he died from the drowning in the cement. So,
can you drown in cement?
Oh, it still has. Yeah, you absolutely can.
As long as it's
it won't.
Not solid.
It may not go. it may not go all the way down your lugs, but if it's thick enough, it'll clog up your throat and you're not breathing anyways. Either way, you suffocated. All you have to be is
Which
face
meme
down
is
in it and
this?
breathe in. Simon and Ben,
Oh.
look who's in the chat. It's Titan Uranus.
Oh, I was like, are we pointing out? It is Titan Uranus.
I have to say something really quick though. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It was Marie. Oh, this. I know I didn't do my. I've been busy, Marie. I was on a stream last night with Ben. Got up early. Said fuck the gym. Went over and saw somebody. Hung out with her. And then I had to like fucking get ready for work real quick and run over there. And I keep getting there like 2 minutes late. I was always 10 minutes early. Now I'm 2 minutes late every day. And Michelle just kind of looks at me funny. And I said, damn, got delayed again. Sorry. And she's like, it's okay. And she just kind of looks at me. Oh, nobody knows where, because I'm dating my boss. Nobody knows at work that we're dating. So anyways, there's that. And testosterone Tuesday. I came home. I was in the best mood in the world. Stuck that fucker right in my leg, drew back, injected it. One little tiny dot of blood. It was perfect. Didn't hurt nothing. It's a little, get a little sore right there. You have to kind of like, sometimes it's better to like rub that shit in. I do it anyways. Kind of like you do after a flu shot or something. They kind of like rub your arm to distribute it.
Sorry.
So I do that, but I think I probably hurt myself doing it, but it's okay.
I forgot I had this meme.
What'd you say?
I forgot I had this meme.
Did you put it in the meme page?
You either share them, you either put them on share screen, or you quit talking about it. Damn it! It's not
I'm
fair.
on my phone, and I'm just posting them. Ben's this.
And I do want to say, Marie, while we're on the subject, that your mother's oatmeal. My mom's oatmeal was the shit. It was like the perfect consistency. I do want to say that I'm getting really fuzzy, like right here. I've got these big fucking like beard hairs coming out. They're coming out dark and shit. A couple of them are gray. I expected that. It's okay. And then right here, it's all like this dark, really soft, fuzzy shit coming in. You can almost see the shadow of it. So I'm kind of excited about that. Anyways, that's my update. I'm feeling great. Life is fucking good. And if it got any better, I'd probably have a fucking heart attack from it and die. So the only way my life could get better is if my paycheck would go up by like $1,000 or more a month. That's not going to happen. So it's the only thing that fucks me up is I am fucking broke all the time. I know, right, Marie? I want to like kind of want to show you, but I don't think you guys can be able to see it. I'd have to get light right on it because these are kind of gray coming in right here. But anyways, I don't even care. I just want at least like a mustache and like, maybe like a handlebar thing going on. I don't know.
I have the
Just
shark
start.
plushie meme. If they're
Granny. Oh,
if you're
Gigi's
cold,
here.
they're cold. Put them in your bed.
Granny.
There you
Hi,
go.
Granny.
Granny, if you want to come in, you can come in. Oh, wait. Speaking of people that are trans,
Hello.
what's up, perps?
Oh,
the hell are you?
Granny, so.
Yeah, you came in from. Was it
I
Granny's
invited. I
stream?
asked them. I sent them links, and they said we have Granny Street. I said no, I know, but just come over when you're done. So, we now we have a pee pee, poo poo, and a Jenny poo. And by the way, Spooky, I do not intend on dyeing my hair in any direction. My brother's beard is almost stark ass white when it's not dyed. And mine right now is coming in dark, and I have no intention. I'm going to own it. Whatever it comes out like, I'm just going to fucking own it, let it go natural. It's me, and that's all I'm trying to be. So, man, I ain't dyeing shit. I don't dye my hair.
I
Nope.
want to dye my
Go
hair.
Go
I
for
don't like
purple.
dyeing.
Guys should be dyeing their beards. I mean, women, are doing pink and blue and purple and all these great colors. Why aren't men doing like neon green for their beard?
Oh
and
no,
stuff like
there
that?
are men out there that have beards that are like multiple colors. There's gay men that like put stripes in them. There's like Jamaican guys that put the fucking Jamaican colors in them. There's a guy that goes around and his name is like Paint Face or something like that. Have you guys ever seen him?
No.
He's if I remember correctly, he's a black guy, but I mean, not that that really matters. But he like paints up his face, and he does amazing shit with his face, and he puts stuff in his hair and everything, and he's like famous. And where is he from? I know one of you in the chat knows. One of you guys have heard of him in the chat. He's like in a city like New York or Chicago or something like that. And he puts stuff in his hair and everything, and like makes his head like a piece of art. And I want to say it's like, I don't know, paint face or something weird like that.
Neighborhood I lived in the 80s in Minneapolis, there was a gay guy who, every month would dye his hair a different color. And he went for the orange and yellow and these bright fluorescent colors, but at the same time, he would always dye his dog to match. So I saw this little poodle running around green and orange and yellow.
Yeah, but what about
that's fucking great though. Good.
What about the shoes and purse? They got a match too.
I don't know. Never saw him naked.
It's probably for the best, to be honest.
I was gonna say, is that good or bad, Perps?
Yes, I do not know this person here next to me. This is someone new.
Oh, you don't know Jupiter?
No.
Jupiter?
What?
Poo-poo?
Yeah, hi.
Always on like Math Pig shit.
Not really. I haven't been around in like 2 weeks, apparently. Actually, no, that is absolutely true.
I don't tend to see much of Math
I may
Pig.
forget it. Sorry about Purple. Go ahead. What?
Well, I tend to not see much of Math Pig just because with the time difference that he's usually going to bed before I finish work and can actually watch something.
Yeah.
I get you. Well, that's a problem I have with Math Pig right now because I work during the day. When I worked at night, it was perfect. I would stay up late, with whoever was on late, like your shit, Purple, and then I'd go to fucking bed, because I come home late, and then I go to bed and I get up really early and I'd hang out with everybody, and then sometimes I'd take a nap, and sometimes I'd just go to work. So I had that. I didn't go to work till 3 p.m. most of the time, sometimes 4.
What?
So I had that gap.
Why is your
during
name
the day? I
Pee-pee
hung out with everybody. Huh?
What?
Why is your name Pee Pee Poo Poo?
Why not?
Because that's stupid.
I can accept that.
Yeah. Wait,
it's kind of like Jupit's way of saying, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's because
That's
we're
fine.
trans guys and we gotta make potty jokes and poop jokes. We're dudes.
I wonder how you get a dog to sit still for that long, and how you keep the dog from licking the hair dye and getting sick.
Poopy.
Well, actually, they do not use real hair dye for animals. That is a misnomer. They actually use food coloring.
In a lot of locations,
Or
it is illegal.
you can actually use
to
Kool-Aid
color
because there's
a
food
dog.
coloring in it.
In
What's
a
that?
lot of jurisdictions, it is illegal to dye an animal like a dog or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also what you're using on them. If you're using something that's meant to be eaten,
Well,
It's
no,
not
the
gonna
law
freaking
doesn't
hurt
say
them.
depending on what you're using on it. It just says it's not legal to do.
Yeah,
it.
it's
Well,
not
yeah,
legal
but
in
that's
a lot of areas,
why.
but yeah.
yeah.
But
that's
yeah,
why.
I did ask the guy about it once, and yeah, he said that he usually used Kool-Aid to get the bright colors.
Yeah. Yeah, people use Kool-Aid because it comes in such a wide variety, and you can buy it for what? I don't know. What is it? I don't know. Back when
Well,
I was
at
a
the
kid,
time,
it
it was like 4
5
packs
cents
for
a
$1.
pack. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
How do you use Kool-Aid? What do you sprinkle it in your hair and then wet it?
No, I
or-
think
No.
they make a paste out of it, like
Yeah,
you would
just
with
a little
like
bit
hair
of water
dyes
to
and
make it a
paste.
paste.
Yeah, and then you just put it on tinfoil and smear it on there and
Yeah,
leave
it's
the tinfoil there
temporary.
and let it dry.
Because now I'm like, I don't know how much Kool-Aid is. I'm gonna look up the price.
Well, it's good, like if you want to do it for Halloween or something, because it washes out pretty easy.
This. Exactly.
Kool-Aid
So I
from
earned it. I'm just gonna own it, baby.
If my parents are still alive, I'd want to do it just to get them upset. But
Hans, because hair dye can kill a dog, can kill an animal. Not just ingesting it, but it's very toxic. And we can torture ourselves like that. It's not okay to torture. Because, it's one thing like you're dyeing your hair up here and you clean it up, but you do it on a dog, it's their entire fucking body.
Yeah.
And you're just smeared toxins all over it. So
Yeah, too much of it can be
not
absorbed
cool.
through the skin.
Yes.
I had this woman Roseanne, just exquisitely
Just
beautiful
nod if you
woman.
agree, Ben.
And she had this beautiful long hair that went all the way down to her butt back when we were in our 20s. And she was a nurse. I met her at the hospital I worked at, and she went prematurely gray. She was gray by the time she was 26, 27.
Oh,
or
that's not
mostly
even
gray.
bad.
And well, it was then. The gray was not a fanboy thing kind of
Well,
thing.
no, I know a family that all the boys in the family were gray between 16 and 18.
Well, it's different for boys.
And two of the girls, they had like 9 kids or something.
No, I
And
I
they're
can see
like
that would be pretty
Stop
hard.
pointing me. I'm
they're
reporting
like
history.
60, 65 now. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to report history here, not opinions. And anyway, she
It's
dyed
not a
her
fucking
hair.
opinion. What the fuck are you talking
And
about?
She went on for well, let's see, how long is it now? 45 years dyeing her hair. And I was always worried about, what kind of chemicals you're putting into your scalp and what can be absorbed and over that long a time, that much. And she doesn't have a brain tumor or anything going, but it's scary to think about that much chemical for that long.
How is what you said history and what I said is bullshit? Explain that
I
to
didn't
me.
say it was bullshit.
You said it was an opinion. It's a fact. I know the entire family. So how is that
Right, but I was
bullshit?
talking about the 70s and you were talking about now.
No, I'm talking about people
That's-
that are now in their 70s is what I said.
Oh,
The
okay,
youngest one is like 62, 63, and the oldest one is 70 something. And there's like
okay,
8
well, I missed that
kids.
part.
Okay. Well, I was trying to say that, but you told me I was spouting an opinion, so
Well,
love you anyways.
I had my whole beard go white, but I'm trying to get rid of that anyway. It hasn't
Ben
seemed
and
to
I
have
were just-
bothered my hair on the top of my head any, though. I still got a nice brown.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
there
B,
you go.
how's your butt hair going?
Dude, I shave my butt when I get in the shower. I have no idea, but I'm going to tell. No, actually, that's not true. That is not true. I'll be totally honest with you. I
Wait.
shave because I shave everything every other day, right? Because I shave all below the belt. So I shave every other shower, every other day. So I got in the shower yesterday morning and went to shave, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? I've never been that long before in my life. I've been shaving that shit since I was like 20.
I
'cause
told
I
you,
hate
the butt hair
I hate
grows.
body hair down there. I hate fucking body hair down there. So yeah, I'm like I
The
went
butt
like
hair
this
grows
and
fast.
I went like this and I went, damn, Ben was right. Rinse that shit off the water.
Pardon me. And
Forgot.
this is my trans man knowledge and ignorance. I thought having body hair and everything would be something that was heavily sought after.
I like it.
No, I just
I
don't
don't shave
want
any of my body hair.
I don't want hair around in my crotch on my ass is what I'm talking about. The rest of it I don't care about. And honestly, I don't really like armpit hair, so I decided to still shave that. I just think it's gross.
Wax.
It just
I
holds
hate
smell and
shaving, so I
bacteria.
don't
You should
do it.
wax it if you don't want it. Don't shave.
Oh, fuck that. It's faster and
no.
easier just to shave it off.
Yeah,
takes
but
me
it
like
lasts
I just
longer.
leave
10
it.
seconds. Yeah, but I'm already shaving.
Yeah,
I
but
shaved
if
my
you
shit, my
if
junk
you
anyway.
wax
So what the
it
fuck?
comparing to shaving, it lasts longer.
I'm not
So that
smearing. First of all, okay,
first,
first of all, hold
then
on.
nair your
clear this up.
armpit.
I am not I've had my eyebrows waxed. I had a girlfriend that just wanted me to do it, and I was brand new in the lesbian world. She was my first girlfriend. I had just come out a couple months, like not even a month and something before that, and I was trying to impress her and do whatever she wanted, So she fucking waxed my eyebrows. I am not ever letting anybody wax what I have down. I'm fucking Italian. Do you know how hairy I am? Fuck that shit. I mean, there's no space that's not hair down there. That shit is not fucking happening. Nope.
See, I have
Nope.
a lot of body hair and I leave it. I am
Same.
Norwegian and proud.
Well, it just depends. Like, okay, for me, it's a phobia thing. Like, not phobia. I don't want to call it that. It disgusts me when people are too fucking hairy, because most people that get too fucking hairy don't clean their fucking shit. And all I can think about is people that are unclean when I see a bunch of hair. So I don't like hair down there. I don't give a fuck about the rest of your body. But when it comes to your ass and shit, fucking, that's gross, man. Get fucking, like, guys get have long ass hair and their butt crack and they get shit stuck in their ass because they're not
Klingons.
Dude, I've seen that. I've seen that shit. And you know
Well,
what?
then
After I
it's-
saw that
then you
shit,
just clean
I started
yourself.
shaving my ass. That
Well,
grossed
then
me
you
out so
clean
bad.
yourself.
Well, this fucker was, I don't know. It was a
Yeah, you
raunchy
can do
ass
that for
party. It's not
yourself,
even part
but
of the
like just
conversation,
because
but-
some of us are hairy doesn't mean we're not clean.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it just makes me think that. I'm not saying you aren't. I'm saying that's what goes through my head is ew, you know. I don't know why. It's just I've been like that my whole fucking life. I've never liked hair down there ever. And once
Ben,
once
has
someone
this
said you can shave that and she shaved me, which was kind of hot. That's it. I've been fucking bald since and I'll never fucking let that shit. I just don't like it. It
Ben?
feels gross to me and itchy and yeah, I don't like it.
Ben, is this volume of hair that you talk about just since T?
No, I've always been hairy. I've
Yeah, no,
always had
he's saying he's
hair.
just more hairy now.
I'm just more now.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's my arm hair is getting darker though. So yeah.
And,
it's
just to
filling in.
clarify though, because I feel like I said that like it could be, like I don't care if anybody else is fucking hairy. Just the person I'm with, as long as they're trimmed and I'm not hairy. I don't give a fuck about anybody else. I wasn't trying to judge anybody. I don't give a shit. You guys do whatever you want.
Arm hair?
You know my
What's
rule.
that?
I didn't mean it to sound like that though. I just realized it did. Oh, Jim, you golfing bastard, you.
Jim. but
How's
it'll be
retirement
fun to
treating
have
you,
in.
buddy? It's good to see you. I just yes, Marie. It's that too. It's a sensory thing. Yes. I don't know. I just never.
Yeah, see,
one of the-
that was something
One of the
like
things that gross me out about guys, honestly.
no, that was something that like I was always
I
told
love-
that. See, I was always told like that I had to shave because I was a
Mhm.
girl, and I was always like, "Why am I doing this? I hate this." But then I'd be ashamed of it, like if I didn't shave because it was just like the expectation that you'd have to. And then when
Yeah.
I came out, I was like, I can do whatever the fuck I want with my body. And I mean, I could have anyway. Like, women can be hairy too. That's fine. Like, I hate that there's a
Yeah.
stigma about that because people are people and people have hair. But
I mean, I'm not talking about like I'm not saying that someone has to be fucking like I don't know. I just think that
I'm just saying for myself.
some people
like-
have really long fucking pubic hair, and it's
No, I'm just
too
saying
fucking
for
long.
me, it's affirming to have hair. Like,
Yeah,
it's
no,
affirming
I
for me.
get
I'm
it.
not getting rid of
Yeah.
stuff that makes me affirmed to have it.
Okay, B.
Right. Well, I don't shave my legs, and my legs are hairy as fuck, and I love it. I fucking love that my hair. I don't have to fuck. So he said to me, Mikey goes, "Man, you it's cool now to have a beard too. You have to trim it and shave it." And I'm like, dude, I just spent fucking like 40 years of my life shaving my legs. That's a lot of shaving. This is nothing. This is fun. This is gonna be fun. This is a pain in the ass. And you cut yourself and you nick shit and you got fucking blood around your knees and your damn ankles because you're shaving too fast because you're always in a hurry and you take a 5-minute shower like a dude. Anyways,
Well, that's
That
what
was
I've
just
wondered
might
about
just
it.
be me.
You know, you said it's like an extra 10 minutes, and it's like, no, no, unfortunately, that's one of the things now for me that since I'm actually paying a bit more attention to shaving the body hair and that, yeah, showers are taking 3 times as long as they used to.
they do, don't they? But you know, eventually, Purple, you'll get used to it and you'll do it like that. You'll do it in a few minutes. You just have to get used to where all the spots are that you'll cut yourself and,
Yeah.
you know, you just get used to doing it. It's just like if you shave your face every morning, you're really good at it after a while. The first time somebody shaves their face, they're like really like, you know, what am I doing?
Yeah, you know, I
you just
never
get used
did shave every day, so I never had much practice with it.
I am absolutely tickled with the fact that I don't have a speck of body hair anywhere. Not a single bit, not one.
Yeah, it's something I can't get a measurement on, but I am suspecting that the body hair is not coming back as fast as it used to.
It probably won't.
Okay,
Don't-
first of all, yes, I know that. I've actually, I drove truck with somebody that was European when I was truck driving. So I've been around a lot of European women, and yes, they usually don't shave and stuff. Which I mean, like I said, I don't care. That's on them. I'm just saying that I don't want to have sex with somebody to the point of putting my face down there if there's a bunch of hair. I just can't do it. It's just like it's making my nose itch to think about. I can't have that shit in my face. That's really what I was trying not to say, but that's really the truth. I just don't want to put my face in all that shit. If I wanted to floss, I'll get a fucking toothpick. Anyways, Hans said, I am just happy to get near another person's crotch, regardless of hair. Max said shaving balls is a very delicate process. And
Yes.
I bet it is.
I wish I had balls.
And Jim said, I use the same trimmers on my golden retriever as I do my beard.
Well,
Hey, Jim, if you wash your golden retriever and he's clean, she's clean, I don't see anything wrong with it. Just blow the hair out, right? It's just clippers. It's just your face. You can wash your beard afterwards. Mac. A baby seal.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, you're fucked up. I love you.
I like the feeling of being shaved all over, but yeah, it's really a pain to do it all, and getting the areas that you can't see.
Good night, Sandy. I love you.
Bye, Sandy.
Good night, Sandy.
When I was first, getting going in transition, and stuff, it was a real thrill to be completely shaven and how that felt so different than what I was used to. But now it's just, I don't feel a thing. It's just what I am.
It's a trans takeover. Some people might want to leave. I don't know.
Bree.
Hey, Bree.
Hey, pretty
Hi, Bree.
people.
Hey, Bree.
Bree, how are you, sunshine?
All right.
Aw. I'm giving out free hugs tonight. Do you want
Yeah,
one?
I need a hug.
I would give you a hug.
It's just a rough day at work. Nothing to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sounds
Nothing
like
to write
that's the
home about.
consensus.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was just saying earlier, today felt like long and horrible for some reason. It seemed like the longest day at work I've had ever. And I don't know why.
it drug so bad today. Drug.
Drag.
Drugged it.
Yes, it did drag. It did drug us with it though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Optics are everything. If you trim the front yard, it makes your action look bigger. That's a good point, Jim. That is a good point. Yep.
It's just good science too, really.
Why?
Yeah, I always
Why
thought
did you just
pubic hair
say
was.
that? That's funny.
I always thought pubic hair was a way to reduce friction.
Maya.
Good night, buddy.
Softening
Hi.
They
down.
make lube for that. Spit works pretty good too.
Bro. I zone back in, and that's the only comment I see. Fucking. God damn it.
Bree, that one's for you, sunshine.
I have a job that I work at, and they sent us home, and now we're kind of easing back in on a rotation schedule to keep minimum people in the building. So
Okay.
every 2 weeks, I work a week in the office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But see, the rest of you work at home though.
Right? Yeah.
Do you think it's affecting you not going to work all the time, or when you go to work, you're more miserable than when you stay home? Which one's better for you?
I think I'm a better employee when I go into the office, but I'm happier when I get to stay home and don't have to get dressed.
Right. Well, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I was trying to get an online job where I could just like sit and be like this and be in like boxers or naked or whatever I wanted to do. Just make sure you don't stand up.
I have
fast.
one of those.
Well, I am so glad that, the
Jenny, yes, you
doctors
did.
and my therapist went to doing everything online, just so I don't have to be driving back and forth and sitting in the waiting room. Because that stuff really, it always bugged me. And I really don't like to drive. I drive because I have to. It's not something I've ever enjoyed.
Damn, Jim, I've only been on T for like fucking 6 weeks and I'm hung better than a horsefly. I mean, to start with.
Well, you talk about insect genitalia, you're getting into a completely different
Scale.
aspect of copulation in the way that they connect. The females actually have, well, never mind. I'm not going to get into it.
No, go ahead.
Flies are gross.
Well, as I understand it, scorpions, they actually detach the penis and then maneuver the female over it.
So that's kind of like a one-time thing, hey?
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know if it grows back. It's something I recall seeing in a documentary at one point.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know.
Ovipositors can be really scary looking.
Yep.
And some wasps and things like that. Yeah, that's
What can be?
Ovipositor.
ovipositor.
It's what the stingers of like wasp and bees evolved
Oh.
from. And the
Cool. I didn't know that. So
and the
I
enzymes
recognize the word.
that's in the venom is actually initially was to paralyze the thing that they're laying their eggs in.
I'm
So the
sorry.
acorn caught in a bird's nest. Oh my.
Dude, that is such an old saying. I know, like, anybody my age or older probably has heard it. It's like an acorn caught in a bird's nest.
I don't understand what that means.
Talking about a
Oh,
very
neither.
small penis with a bunch of pubic hair around it.
Oh, never mind. We just call it.
Oh, never mind.
Marky, no, scorpions are definitely not insects, but I know
I'm sorry.
brain bug does deal with other types of bugs as well.
I'm a dude.
I
like
thought
dick jokes,
I
sorry.
thought the scorpions were. In,
No,
well, no, there's-
Scorpions are arachnids, like
Yeah.
spiders. If you want to get
What are those
into
little? Go ahead.
if you want to get into monophyly, all arachnids are scorpions. All, but I'm not gonna say that.
Let's not get controversial here.
It gets
Hey, Bree, what's the name of those little scorpions they have like down in South America, Mexico, and they're like light brown? You know the name of them?
well,
They're
there's
like this big.
there's
They're like maybe 2 inches, 2.25 by an inch-ish at their.
so the closer you get to the equator, the more scorpions you're going to find. Well, the more invertebrates you're going to find. So South America has quite a menagerie of scorpions, both that live in tropical and desert environments.
No,
Uh,
I may have
so-
found your answer, by the way.
You know what it is?
Because I literally Googled it.
Oh no, I know where I was. I wasn't in Mexico. I was in Costa Rica. I was in
Uh,
Costa Rica, and this fucking scorpion just walked because you're in a casita, you're up on a hill, it's by the ocean, you got the doors and windows open, it's a beautiful fucking day, it's 85 degrees, there's a beautiful breeze,
I don't even
beautiful
know how to-
view.
I don't know
So
how
this
to-
scorpion just walked in the fucking house, and I was like walking behind it, going and blowing it towards the front door because it was heading in that direction.
It sounds like a Centauroids scorpion, which
Yeah.
the bark scorpions and whatnot. But
Yeah, that's what came up on Google. It's the Centauroids limpatus.
I don't know, but all I know is the guy that worked there, because we rented the casita with a bartender and a maid. It was fucking awesome. They cooked for us. They made drinks the whole time we were there. They did our laundry. We'd come back and the bed would have clean sheets on it, and our shit would be folded up in a pile. Like, she did laundry every day. It was fucking amazing. It was so expensive though. But the guy working there told me. The guy working there told me, he goes, "No, don't mess with those. Those are really poisonous. Do not. No bueno. No bueno." Like, okay.
It's probably safer to assume that the scorpions that you see are dangerous and leave them alone unless you know.
Oh no, he said that particular kind don't.
Yeah.
He's like, don't fuck with those.
Are,
Yeah, it's
are
like-
there any scorpions that are lethal to humans?
Yeah,
Okay.
Arizona bark scorpions can be lethal.
Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay, I know not to
Are
go
you
there.
serious?
So
No, I
any
meant Jim.
I would say any scorpion can be dangerous if you have a bad reaction to it, if you're susceptible to its venom.
Yeah, well, some people can die from bee stings.
Yeah,
Let me tell you,
a bee can
Go
kill
ahead.
you. So
that trip for 1 week cost me $3,500. It was
This is-
expensive.
This is another reason for living where the air hurts my face half the year. Is I'm pretty
Right.
sure there are no scorpions native to Minnesota.
You know what you see out here? You see tarantulas just migrating.
the
And
male
they just like walk through the fields.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one I showed you was migrating when I sent that to you, Bree, last year. Of my brother saving that tarantula.
Yeah,
He's like, dude, I don't want to kill you. Don't go in the house. And he's trying to like kick dirt at it and make it go in the other direction. It kept coming towards the house. And he was like, all right, hold on. Kid's bucket, kid's sand bucket. Grab that. Yep. Save the scorpion. Save the tarantula. I actually ran over one the other day on the road, man. It made a pretty big spot on the road. I did not mean to. I was just driving and he just walked out in front of me and I fucking squished his ass. But that's what they'll do. Sometimes around here, you'll be outside and you'll see like hundreds of them just coming up through the fucking fields. And they're just and they're not fucking with you. You're just passing through. You're going to.
This reminds me of the stream I still need to do with Neil where we eat bugs.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm out on that one. I'll keep track or something. I'll keep count, but
they're good though. It's protein.
Never tried it, dude. I've never fucking tried it.
Yeah,
What have you never tried?
Eating any kind of a
bugs.
bug. I've never been that hungry in my life to fucking put a bug. I got steak or
you should
hamburger.
Just eat one. They're crunchy.
Taco.
They're crunchy
I've eaten a couple of flies accidentally. They're really salty.
Yeah.
Well, I'll eat shrimp or lobster, but it's got to be big enough to take the shell off of it.
Yeah, those are bugs too.
I'm switching headphones, so you guys have to give me a minute. Go ahead and talk.
I was surprised to find out about the giant isopods that live in the bottom of the ocean. It's like, yeah, I always knew these things, as being these little pill bugs that literally were like the size of an aspirin. And apparently there's some on the floor of the ocean that are foot long.
And,
really? Pill bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're called isopods. I gotta find it because there's a meme.
Bathynomus.
I love it.
Well, they sound like you could make steaks out of them.
BATHYNOMUS if you're looking for them.
Yeah, actually, I found out that there are some people who cook them like lobster.
I want to find.
They're crustaceans, so there's no reason.
Insects are a super sustainable protein source, and like it's definitely something to look into with regard to like poor distribution of food. Like, and it's great. It could be done cheaply.
Mealworms are easy to farm too.
I tell you what, any of you, if you like run out of money and you're hungry and stuff, you come on to my house. You can eat every bug you find. It's all right by me.
I'm just like thinking about like in terms of like global food and stuff. Like, I mean, people are so hesitant to eat bugs like in the U.S., but people have been doing it like all over the world. And it's super sustainable. Like, it's something to definitely look into, especially now that people are like.
The aversion is almost. I almost want to claim that it's Abrahamic, based on that the spread of that culture. Because any culture that wasn't dominated by that in the early modern period is pretty well open to eating any kind of insects that they can subdue. You'll be everything from roasting tarantulas to grinding up mealworms, make a burger out of them. Whatever.
I'm all right with the concept of insects being high protein and that's a usable food that we shouldn't ignore. I just don't want it in the form of a bug. I refuse to consume that form. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you want to grind it up and
cricket flour,
if you want to make it into a flour and as an add-in, cricket cookies or something, fine. But I'm not going to eat something with spiky legs and shit.
Plenty of bug parts in your food that you're eating already.
Right, I know, but they don't look like bugs.
I could probably get used to the idea. Just right now, it's not something that seems appealing.
Yeah, I like crickets. I've had crickets all different kinds of ways. I've had cricket flour. I've had eaten them just whole. Never eaten one raw though.
Are they sweet? Are they?
You can candy
savory.
Them. On their own, they're not sweet or savory. On their own, they remind me of is a sunflower seed.
All right, I'm back.
Like if you ate the shell with it, but yeah, just because the way that they're prepared.
I was thinking about when you mentioned the pill bugs. No, I gotta say one last thing about the pill bugs. So, like, that scene in The Emperor's New Groove where they like eat a giant pill bug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've like always wanted to do that. Like, I wanted to eat the giant pill bugs with the straw like they did in the movie. I don't know. But now you're telling me essentially that I could do that. Maybe not with
Yeah.
a straw, but I could do it.
I would soak them first, because anything that's come to maturity in the soil, at least in North America, I would be apprehensive about consuming. They tend to absorb a lot of heavy metals. Because
Well, yeah, but like I could actually but it is possible though to find a pill bug of that size, just not on land.
yeah, you probably have to go to the water.
Yeah.
Well,
but
just
they
imagine
exist.
how the harvest you could have every 17 years in your given area when the cicadas come out.
The biggest pill bugs that I'm aware of that are terrestrial are about a little under half an inch long, so they're still pretty small. They look massive compared to the other ones, but yeah. But if you want to live that dream, I support you. At least maybe on a smaller scale, you could even do it like now on camera.
No, you
Yeah,
could do it on
on
camera.
Well, yeah,
I
Neil,
actually
Neil
do
and I
have
are going to eat bugs
isopods
on
behind
camera
me.
at some point.
But yeah, you go outside and turn over a log or something and find some pill bugs. Easy peasy.
Yeah, okay.
Look at him. He's like, nah, I'm good.
Ooh, the little cream-filled kind.
Yes.
Oh. See, that scene makes bugs look delicious too. That scene in The Lion King where he flips it
It
over.
does.
It's like a delicious platter of the like the way they'd be candy flavored.
Yeah. Bree,
Boston-
we need to get you on the bug stream that Neil and I
Boston
do.
cream maggots.
They got nougat in them. Yeah.
Nougat.
Oh, B, did you see in the chat? Jim just said, "Beck, no, just Beck."
Thanks, buddy. Hey, I love you, man. Have a good night.
Maybe that needs to be your new channel name.
Beck, no, just Beck. Could just make it just Beck, but then I wouldn't want to change it everywhere. I've got to be no, just be everywhere because everybody harassed me. I can't find you and your stuff. So I changed it all, and now here we are, and it's just B. It's fine. Let's
It's
just
okay.
leave
I'm
it
gonna have
alone.
to change my channel name in 2 years. So
Yeah, you
I
just
like-
did that so flocks of chickens will call your name in chorus.
There's translators skipped a phrase there where it prohibits it. Huh. Bible prohibits eating bugs? That's interesting.
Really?
That's what he said.
Would you consider them shellfish?
I mean, he's going through the Bible like slowly and rewriting it, you know. So like,
Yeah,
I think
Mac,
I think he
there's
probably read it
actually
somewhere.
a species of parasitic isopods that will eat a fish's tongue and take the place of the tongue.
Yeah.
That would be. Could you imagine like have something crawl in your mouth and you're trying to eat and it's eating your dinner for you? Like what the fuck? Oh, Ben, I gotta tell you, man. I gotta tell you guys this.
So
I have an ignorant patient story. It's really
Oh, no.
good. Okay.
oh no,
This lady calls and she's like, "My name's so and so. We'll just call her Janet." Okay, just Janet. Or no, I don't even like that name. Let's call her
Karen.
Francesca. So Francesca says to me, it's the only name I can think of that we don't have a patient of. So Francesca says to me, so on Monday I went and picked up this puppy. Somebody gave me a puppy, and I was like, "Oh, cool," you know. And she said, "Well, it was sick." And they gave it antibiotics. They had antibiotics I was going to give with it. And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And she's like, "Well, it died yesterday. Died the next day, which was yesterday." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, so sorry to hear that. It must have been horrible for you, you know." Very being compassionate about it. And she said, "Yeah, I need to get some antibiotics because I think I caught whatever it had." And I said, "Really?" And so she was describing it, and I'm typing all of this in a message to Heather, right? I'm like, "Really? Okay." I think she got what the dog had, right? And she goes, and I think it had parasites as well. Can I get a prescription for ivermectin? I said, "Okay, first of all, we're not giving out prescriptions for ivermectin, and we weren't before COVID, and we're not doing it now, and especially not now. and you have to be regulated, and you have to blabs, and you have to blah 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 blah. And she goes, "Oh,
And you have to walk on
well,
4 legs.
well. Also, I need an order.
Oh
I need
God.
an order or a script because I need to take something because I'm very in tune with my body, and I know I caught that cold off of that dog, and I also know that the right side of my liver is a little fatty. So, can she prescribe me something to get rid of that?" This is a real conversation. I'm not fucking kidding you right now.
Wait a minute. The right side of her liver was fatty?
Yes, just all the way on the right, over here. That's what she said. Just the very right side. I'm very in tune with my body, and there's a little fat on my liver right there. So I would like
Oh my
to.
God.
I mean,
Get a prescription.
you could have a little bit of fat in one area as opposed to another,
mean,
but like she wouldn't
yeah,
know that.
but-
You'd have to get a
Can't-
scan to prove
Look.
that.
Yeah.
This is how in tune I have always been with my body. Until I hit about 35, I used to feel my eggs drop. And I can tell you right now, I didn't know that my kidney was dying. So don't tell me, there's fat on your liver. Like, fuck you, man. It's fucking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
You'd only
And
know you had that if you got it like an ultrasound or a CT
I'm like,
or something.
how
that
did you get a
told
parasite? No, I'm sorry. She said she got parasites from the dog. And I said, oh, the dog had parasites? And she goes, no, but he gave me parasites and I need ivermectin.
How can you get parasites from
What
something
the
that
fuck is
doesn't have
wrong with
parasites?
you, man? What is? And I was
Parasites
like,
aren't
I
magic.
gotta remember to tell
I don't know-
Matt about
I don't-
this fucking caller. Oh,
I don't know
sorry.
that there are very many, if any, worms that can transfer from canine to human.
I mean, what did
Ringworm.
she
Well,
do?
there's-
Like, eat his shit? Like,
I mean, I asked the vet about that once when I first got a dog, and they just kind of no, no, it ain't gonna happen. But I don't know if that meant it's just very unlikely, or if there is no such thing that can happen.
Well, people can pick up ringworm from a dog.
Who?
Ringworm.
Ringworm?
well, yeah,
That's
ringworm is
fungus.
very contagious. Yeah, that's different.
It's a
though.
fungus.
Yes, and you should wear it fucking proudly.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. I'm gonna go around telling everybody that my fucking best little brother dude in the world's a fucking doctor. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be like living vicariously through you.
I
I'm
get
just ready
I
the
for
was gonna
bully
use
you
it to get
more.
laid, but I might
Yeah, I'm
not
just
have
ready
that
for the
problem
trolls
anymore.
to stop being able to use the excuse that I'm a student to like shit talk me. It's like, yeah, I'm a student, but my information comes from like the top experts who teach me this stuff.
That means
like
you
I
have
just talked out of
access
my
to
ass.
the best information and the newest
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
when you step out of the when you out of the class every day, you have the most up to date information on everything that you're learning. More up to date than probably most practicing physicians out there at that
Well,
time.
just ask them
Yeah.
where they got their medical degree from. Then.
Yeah. Well, like some of them, like I had some gender critical doctors getting on my case, and like here's the thing. Here's the thing. So
Excuse me.
like doctors that are in practice now are usually like they're pretty good about like the science and the medicine. They're shitty at social issues. Like social issues are things that have not been addressed well ever in the history of medicine. So just because someone has been a doctor for a while does not mean they understand things about trans health or LGBT health or about psychiatry, because like psychiatry is a new field and like mental health is something that's now becoming less stigmatized. And like even medicine is still incredibly racist. So like saying that these doctors, just because they're doctors, know like how to handle these social issues, no, because they were taught that Black people feel pain differently. So like they're not always authorities on social issues. So this generation is way more credible than the previous generations that were taught that like certain groups of people like don't deserve rights.
Let me just damn, I forgot what I was gonna say because fucking somebody disappeared. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. This is what happens. Ben is really right. Like my provider she's been practicing medicine for 25 years. And she's intelligent and she's quick on stuff, and she's thorough, and she's detailed, and she really like sits the patient down and has a conversation with them when they come in and visit her. Even if she's doing a physical or an annual exam, she sits the patient down and says, "What's going on with you? Let's talk about it." You know, like she is very thorough. Still doesn't know shit about trans. She just doesn't. So I figured that's my fucking job. I'm going to teach her, and I am teaching her a lot.
Well,
and by the way, I do want to say this. I said to her Tuesday or Monday when she came in, I said, "Deb, I got to tell you." And she goes, "What?" And I said, "I feel amazing." She was like, "Really?" I said, I feel better than I have in like 15 years. I feel amazing right now." And she gave me a high five, and she goes, "I'm so glad for you." And I gave her a big hug, and I said, look. And she goes, "Oh, yeah, oh, that's cool." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting little hairs in there." She was like, "That's so cool. I'm so happy for you." And she gave me a hug. I've done that in just a month and a half with one provider. She didn't understand any of it. She told me at the beginning, "I don't know what you think this is going to do for you." And now she's like she's seen me become more me, and now she's fucking happy for me. And I am changing. Like I said, I'm going to fucking break some molds, man. And even if it's just slow little one day at a time, one person at a time, work on them for months. I don't care. I'm going to break molds. Because Ben's right. People, the older generation, they just don't know shit. They don't know anything about it. It's not anything they were trained on.
Like, just now, they are just now finally having like petitions for the medical sphere to stop using race as a criterion for kidney function. So, like, for people who think that like medicine has it all together in those areas, we absolutely do not, and we have a lot of work that needs to be done. Like we're still fighting these issues.
Yeah. Jupit said, "See you in 2 weeks," whoosh, and left. I didn't see the private chat.
You like never look at the private chat.
I know, I'm horrible about it. Well, there's so much going on. I'm talking to you guys, and I got cats meowing at me, and you know, I'm ADHD, and there's shit on my brain, and all kinds of stuff going on. So,
to be fair, the human body is so incredibly complex, you can't expect somebody to know all of it. I mean, there's a reason that there are all the specialist doctors.
Well, yeah, but it's not like a lot of the things that we're still facing in medicine came from absolute just racism. Like these criteria with like using race as a standard for kidney function, all of that came because doctors back in like the 1800s and the 1900s said we need a way to make sure that white people are superior. And so they made this stuff up so that they could say that they're superior when there's no scientific basis. And it still permeated medicine. Like people are still teaching this stuff when there's no basis for it. And it's like, why do we still have this?
Have you ever studied the eugenics period of American history?
Mm-hmm.
From the teens and 20s, that actually a lot of the information and theory and philosophy behind it is what Germany adopted to their eugenics and rationalizations for
the early
eliminating the Jews.
Well, the U.S. was right there with Germany during that time. During the time of World War II, we were doing the same authors and everything.
No, it petered out before World War II, but it definitely was adopted by Germany.
It was used to justify the atrocities against the Native Americans. The genocide against them, and of course, anybody from Africa, they were considered inferior for.
Yeah, the Tuskegee experiments.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Tuskegee experiment was a little bit different. I mean, it was evil, but like we're talking about like racial biases, really. You know,
well, the Tuskegee experiment was specifically done on black men.
I mean, yeah, which again was racist, but it doesn't. We're talking about implicit racial biases. It's different. It's like,
yeah, I get you.
You know, like a lot of what they're talking about was started even back during slavery. There were doctors who, it's kind of like with the God thing where you start with a premise and then you work to, and you filter all the information to prove that point. So they actually had, what do you call it? Like camps, like birth camps, or what did they call them? I like, yeah, like they were like, I mean, you know what I mean though. I'm sorry, tired. But to they wouldn't give the women like any pain medication because you know Black people they had studies that showed that Black people didn't feel pain the same way that white people did. You may have heard like there are a lot of doctors that think that Black people have thicker skin, and that goes all the way back to slavery. It like stuff like that where it's like, oh, Black people are like almost a different species, so we have to treat their bodies differently, or meaning not take their medical conditions as seriously as we do with white people. So I think that's more to what I mean. Ben, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to speak for you, especially on medical shit, but
Well, this
kind
is
of like
something
history
that-
shit too. So
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna shut the fuck up because I'm gonna let Maya talk right now because she knows.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
this is your place to have a voice.
Fuck yeah,
like-
always.
But yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like those, it is them like affirming what they already thought. And yeah, the kidney thing is something, and then like spirometry. Luckily, spirometry is getting a little bit better to where I think they're starting to take race off of being a criterion for certain lung functions, which it should be, because like Maya's lungs don't work any different than mine, except for like our
No.
body size. Like our body size makes a difference, but that's it. Like our percentages aren't going to be any different unless like we have different like lung diseases.
Right.
But then like there's this other like myth too that like Black people have, and this started from like because white people made this like I don't want to say it was a study, like they faked this like study to say that like white people were so much more superior, but then in very specific areas they would say that Black people were superior, but only in things that would make them more suitable for like manual labor. So like with they said that their bone structure, like they had denser bones because they were meant to like do manual labor. And then now to this day, you have the medical community trying to say that like Black people are less likely to get osteoporosis. It's like that's not the
What?
case. Like that's not the case. But that's a myth that is perpetuated because that originally started to keep them as slaves, like to justify slavery.
And they
I-
thought they had anthropology to back that up too. There's his name was George Montanodon. He was this anthropologist, like around pretty prolific around the time that we were just talking about, right before World War II, and he had this idea of that all the what was it, the 5 races that they used to have. You consider that they were all descent from different species of ape. It was this really weird theories.
Wow.
I go crazy
Maya-
with how our culture continues to insist through practice and things that get made up all the time, particularly in the media. How there's all these races. There's white and there's yellow and there's red and there's black. No, skin color is pretty much a continuum from albino to absolute pitch black. That
Yeah.
every step is occupied by somebody. There just aren't these dividing points. It's a continuous tone
It's how
from
far your
absolute white
ancestors
to
lived.
absolute black, and it's just so stupid. It's just so
Yes,
stupid.
I just don't understand what the fuck the color of someone's skin matters. I don't get it. I don't get how people can stand there and fucking dog out. Like, I know people in the LGBTQ community. I met some people I was in Virginia. Virginia. They were fucking prejudiced. And I was like, you're like 50 years old right now. And this is years ago. They're like 70 something now. Like you've been through persecution. You came out before it was cool. How can you be prejudiced? When Black people say to me, "Oh my God, you're going to hell because you're gay or you're trans," how can you be prejudiced? You've dealt with it. How the fucking race? You can't fight racism with racism. God damn. It blows my mind, and I just don't know why any of it matters.
Well,
If
because
you don't
it's
like
different.
black people, don't marry one. If you don't like gay people,
Compartmentalization.
don't date a gay. That's all you have to do. Mind your own fucking business. It doesn't matter. We're all fucking human. We all bleed the same. We all fucking shit the same. It doesn't fucking matter. It's just
A primary
fucking
tenet of almost every religion I've ever learned about is that it is your duty to convert the rest of the world to our religion, because only our religion is right. And so when they look at you being gay or trans or whatever, they're not being prejudiced. They're telling you that you should be what we are, because you're not correct if you're not. I'm not trying to make it sound better, but that's basically what I think they're saying to us is that you have to be like me, or you can't be acceptable.
Well, that's generally the case with anybody who follows the Bible, because the Bible has 8,068 laws, and if you're not following all of them, you're not going to be allowed into heaven. So they've got to make sure everybody else is following all those laws.
It should be 8,070. You said 68.
I don't know, whatever.
8,069, and the last one should be, "Oh, go get fucked."
Holy man, Jen is in the chat. Why are you in the chat and not in the stream? Excuse me, ma'am.
Jen? Let's see. That's 9, and so it's 9, 10. Well, yeah, come on in, Jen.
Yeah, Australian Jen just came in.
Yeah, Australian Jen.
Upside down, Jen.
Oh, she wants a link. It's in the Jen, it's in the same chat. Just like scroll up a little bit. It's the same link.
I can tell you what started whiter is more human. Chimpanzees are dark skinned, dark haired with large facial features. No crap. That is what some thought decided how far from ape you are.
Yeah.
Except chimpanzees are Caucasian colored when they're born, and they gradually grow darker.
Yeah.
Duh. Didn't anybody notice that?
Yeah. Well, it was a popular belief that people from Africa were closer to gorillas than white people.
I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they and they considered the Asians were descendant from orangutans too. It was a really weird idea.
Hold on, Jen.
Really
It's okay. I'll put it in the chat. And then if anybody's worried there's a troll walking around, then just delete it after I'm done, or I'll delete it.
The troll is me.
Whatever. Yeah, Ben's the troll, and it's okay. Here.
Except I'm like the troll that's like under the bridge in fairy tales. Like you're gonna walk over the bridge, and I'm gonna give you a riddle, and you're gonna have to solve it.
Yeah, but do you eat the people who don't solve the riddle?
No.
Maya, I did want to ask you about what Richard said right here. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Jen's wearing clothes.
Hold on,
Jen's wearing clothes.
Hold on
Jen's
just a second.
got home. Jen's had like 4 hours sleep in the last 48 hours.
That's enough. Quit complaining.
It's not. It's nowhere near enough. I'd actually hopped in bed, and I realized you were still streaming, so I got back up and I thought,
You're fine. What are you, like 18? You're fine.
Yeah, I wish.
Hold on just a second, though. We're having a serious conversation right now. What do you say about that, Maya? Is that accurate? Does that sound accurate to you?
No, I haven't heard of it before.
Oh, okay.
I
guess that's something we can look up then. You have any links to that, brother? You can throw a link into that thing into the chat so everybody can check it out. I appreciate it.
Through the Trump administration, there were doctors at the immigration camps on the Mexican border who were forcibly sterilizing women.
Bye, Bree.
Bye,
Bree.
Bye, Bree. Oh,
Bye, Bree.
I was trying not to interrupt Purple. Bye, Bree.
Yeah, sorry.
Love you.
Yeah, during the Trump administration, they were sterilizing migrant women, but this is different.
I just don't get how anybody in any government, any religion can think that forcing those kinds of changes on a person is right in any respect, in any way. That's just, you just can't do that shit.
Well, that's most of the thing with all the fear mongering about the immigrants coming up from Mexico. It's still the same racist thing. They don't see them as being people the same way.
And the people who would support that as a concept are the same goddamn people who stand there and say, don't give me your tyranny with this vaccine.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? I've actually said something about that recently, Jay. Like they're pushing all this shit down, right? You push all these people down, and they want everybody to all the gays and all the trans and all the black and all the Hispanics and everybody just stay away from us. You stay in your little hole of the world. We're gonna suppress you. I'm not taking a vaccine.
Yep.
The fuck is that?
Well, just the use of the word tyranny.
It's like, you can't tell me what to do with my own body, but I can tell you what to do with yours.
Well, and like the stupid ass thing that healthcare professionals can cite their religion as a reason to not give a patient treatment.
Yeah.
And that's going to go away as soon as some Muslim doctor says he's not going to treat a Christian.
Mm-hmm. So, like the ad I was talking about yesterday on my stream, I got an ad for like this children's book series about capitalism and scaring kids against socialism. So the funniest thing is, I got another ad from them, and apparently they have a book about logical fallacies, and I am laughing so hard because their whole rhetoric is logical fallacies, and they're trying to teach people about fallacies.
Do you have an example?
Well,
Bo! Sorry, go ahead.
So the ad that has the picture of this kid reading this logical fallacies book says kids are vulnerable to socialism. Everything for free. What child wouldn't like that? This book is a children's book series that explains why that's not sustainable or effective. And they have other ads like this.
But they don't mention how it's not true.
It's like they're using logical fallacies in their ads, and then they have a book saying that they're trying to teach kids about logical fallacies. Are you trying to teach kids to use logical fallacies? Because that's what I see you doing in your books.
Pot kettle.
For real. You are strawmanning socialism in every one of your books.
yeah, right. It's true.
It just
by nature tribal and divide everyone into yes, and Purple. As long as they keep us divided, how weak are we? What the government would never want anybody to join together and fucking agree. They'd be fucked. We'd get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
If we all agreed and we were all we're together on this, we're all gonna do something.
Well,
if
you could get all the working class Americans to agree to vote one way and not elect a billionaire.
And those other fucking swamp creature assholes that have been there for 30 fucking years and still think it's 1952 or something.
I don't
go back further, 1935.
I don't understand how the conservative movement, any movement, the idiots that are out there right now can stand there and think that hiring, putting a billionaire in office is a good idea. That cool, because I'm going to be rich someday. No, you're not.
Because
you're going to
most of
fucking
them
die
are
a pauper,
wealthy.
just like the rest of us.
If you don't vote for him, they're going to elect somebody who supports gay marriage and will let women have abortions.
Whoa, who needs women to have rights? It's too far.
Well, yeah, there's people on the right at this time that are saying we should take back women's rights, that they should not be allowed to work, that they should not be allowed to
that's
votes.
always been the conservative agenda anyway, hasn't it?
If we give women rights, then
but it's out in front now.
Then the men can't be in charge and tell them to not have any power.
There you go, Maya.
I mean, going back to what you were saying about you fought for your rights back then. Why aren't you helping people fight for rights now? All the things that we as trans people are saying now about like if we don't support trans rights now, that will kick back and there will be rights taken away from people further backwards who had rights is happening now. But it's exactly what was said. It's exactly what we said through the gay rights movement, through women's rights movements. If you don't support each level, it gets kicked back to the one before. As soon as they think they can get away with a little bit, those fascist conservative elements will go for more. They will take it.
There has been a law introduced in the state of Texas to end gay marriage. Okay, and it's been introduced by the Republican Party, and it is going to be voted on by a Senate and House that is represented by the Republican Party with a Republican governor, who all kiss ass to the religious right. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, of course, it's going to go through. I mean, it might get challenged in federal court, but
as soon as it goes through, every other red state is going to follow suit.
But this is the same with their abortion laws and everything. What happened was they went after trans people. They go, oh, we managed to get these laws through. The federal government did nothing about it. We set a precedence now that we can pass laws to restrict people's rights. Right, let's restrict women's rights now about abortion. Let's get rid of Roe versus Wade in our thing. And the federal government's not going to do anything about it, and neither are the courts. Okay, now we've got that. Let's go back further and remove more rights. And it's exactly what we warned them was going to happen. It's exactly what we warned was going to happen since the fucking 60s.
Yep.
And at some point in this, it's going to be, let's remove people who aren't the same colored skin as my rights, because that is where it's going to go. So anyone who thinks this isn't what's happening, it is. It's exactly what's happening. If you don't defend other people, you don't deserve to be defending yourself.
And they're already doing that too, as far as color goes, because of all the changes in the voter laws and limiting access.
Is racism. It is
absolutely
straight out fucking racism.
And if anybody thinks it's not, you're a fucking idiot. Plain and simple.
I fucking hate. I just hate all of it. I hate all the fucking racism. I see it fucking everywhere. Not where I live, but I see it all over online and shit. And people are over there going, you natives. And I'm like, yes. And they're like, white people suck. And I'm like,
but it doesn't matter if it's not happening where you live. My family
had no part of it. We didn't even live here when that shit happened. We had no part of it. And I'm
but
proud
it
to say
shouldn't
that,
matter if it's not happening where you live.
Every white person hates everybody that's not white. It pisses me off that they make all of us fucking look bad.
Okay, B, my family wasn't here for that either. I didn't have anyone on this continent until 1904. But at the same time, I do have to acknowledge that a lot of the benefits in society that I'm enjoying now, were built with slave labor. It is land that was taken from the Native Americans. So even if my family wasn't directly involved, I'm still getting a lot of benefits from all the atrocities that were committed.
Yeah.
Is Hans' question legitimate, or is that a troll? Because that reads like a troll question.
Hans is a troll. He's just never serious.
Okay.
Let me read this. Oh, where did it go?
You mean it's from Ox. You mean like my ancestors were herded like animals, so all you other peoples could fill this land, abused or not, at least your people had a chance. And you're absolutely fucking right. It was absolute fucking bullshit. And the way that all the natives are being treated and all the black people are being treated and all the Hispanics, it fucking makes me sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bottom line. And if I was rich, shit would fucking change. If I was one of these loaded ass millionaires, billionaires, whatever the fuck they are, and had all that fucking money, shit would fucking change. Because it's the only way you can get anybody to listen to you is if you have a pocket full of fucking money.
Ox speaks through sarcasm, in case you don't know them very well.
Yeah. No. I know he does, but at the same time, he's serious too.
Going back to what you were saying, B, just because you or I might not live in areas where this is a major concern at the moment, we should still be concerned, because it doesn't matter where you are around. It doesn't matter where you are.
Trans? Which rights are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Anyone's rights, not just trans rights. Women's rights, everyone's rights.
Right down the road from me, there's fucking Indian reservations with people living in goddamn squalor. I see it all the time. When I worked for Netflix, we drove right through one of the pueblos and went on the other side of it to fucking film. And these people are fucking starving. And I just gotta look, puke. And you know what? You know what they're surviving off of? Shit like Netflix. That's how they survive.
I mean, you just got to look at the amount of money that conservative organizations from the US are funneling into, especially the UK, to promote bigotry over there so that they can get rights removed in the UK. And that's happening in other countries as well. You know, it's a worldwide phenomenon. This thing of pushing back against people's rights, right? What they think is their new social reform, which is their kickback against what has actually been social reform. They want to drag us back. No, I don't even think it's back to the 1960s anymore. They want us back in the Victorian era.
Oh yeah,
and it's a dreadful state of affairs across the Western world at the moment. I mean, the Eastern world didn't get the rights, and they might be removed from the Western world before we can get the rest of the world up to speed on rights. That's fucked up. That's majorly fucked up.
Well, the ones who are screaming "Make America Great Again," you know, what they're usually talking about is taking America back to what the society was in the 50s.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, which was great if you were a white male. Other than that, it was pretty much shit.
Well, that's that's all they care about is white males. That's the whole.
That's the whole problem. That is the fucking problem.
The problem is just why don't all the minorities see this? You know, why are any of the women voting for them to start with?
Because women are just,
it's not that people are purple. That's the fucking problem. It's called the Electoral College. It's called the "we're gonna vote for them for you" bullshit. That's what's fucking wrong.
Women are just
get a more realistic vote.
Women are just as subject to manipulation and delusional inputs than any other person.
Yeah, but look at them all that are like that. They're all fucking white. I don't care if they're man or woman. They're all fucking white.
Unfortunately,
and they're all making
not
these decisions
true.
for other people that they have nothing to fucking do with. Well, no,
Actually,
I know there are Hispanic and POCs and stuff mixed in there somewhere.
No,
but the majority of them have always been white, and they always fucking will be.
In several southern states, Trump got the majority of black men voting for him.
I apologize. I was talking about the people working in the government that are fucking shit up. That's what I was talking about. I didn't mean the people voting. I apologize. I should have clarified.
I saw a comment the other day from a cishet white guy on Twitter who was saying, all you people fighting for LGBT rights, you really should take a leaf out of what people did in the past, where it was a very passive sort of forward movement where they just try with argument and persuasion to not all this in your face activism and that's just not true. Every form of activism that has gotten anywhere in our society has had to be in your face, because otherwise the powers that be want the status quo. And you can't be passive about it. You have to be in their face. You have to be at them all the time and say, you're doing this wrong. You are hurting us. You have to be there. You have to say that. You have to be convincing, and you have to bring as many people as possible to your cause, even if they're outside of your things. That's why allies are so important to all of us, especially as we're getting down to now smaller and smaller groups. Because it's one thing when we were fighting, and I'm sure Mayor will agree with this, when we were fighting for black rights, there's a lot more black people than there are LGBT people. And then we started just fighting for gay rights, gay and lesbian rights. And there's more of those than there are trans people. So as we're getting down to smaller and smaller groups, that requirement for having allies and keep fighting, but not just for the new people who are fighting for their rights, keep fighting for the people who already have rights. Because if we ever stop putting the pressure on the cishet white normative people who want to, especially the men, because it's mostly men who want it kept the same way, if we don't keep putting that pressure on, it will get creeped back and we will lose rights. Trans people will lose rights. Gay people will lose rights. And eventually, black people will lose rights. And women will lose rights, because in the end, they cishet white men don't give a fuck about us at all.
Let me just say real quick.
Not all cishet white men,
First of all, I think, I don't know if you say it Misha or Misha, but I agree 100%. That's exactly what they want. 100%. Apparently, you're a doctor, so congratulations, because we like doctors here. We like people who make sense and use logic and science. So thank you for that. Ox said, Maya, thank you, and please don't think I'm trying to belittle the struggles of Black people. All I'm saying is we know where you walk. We've been there.
Yep.
And you know, that's, and what Jen said is really important. You know, you have groups, you know, these lots of people that, you know, like the natives, they don't get as much attention as they should because it depends on whatever the media is fucking talking about. They're not popular right now. They'll come back popular again when they get, you know, more of them killed at the fucking pipeline trying to save their fucking goddamn little bit of fucking land that we gave them. And now we want to fucking destroy it.
Dare I mention,
but besides that, you
popular...
don't see a lot about natives because it's not what's going on right now. You know, people's eyes started opening up with the body cams and the cops and realizing what was happening with Black people, which is absolutely legitimate and should be talked about. But it's like they pick one topic. They like to pick one topic and stick on that one topic and go on and on and on about it, and then everybody forgets about the other people. And then they go, "Oh, Hispanics. Let's talk about them for a couple years." And everybody forgets about the other people. And this is why we can't get anywhere, because people listen to that shit. So people that are allies, people that are advocates, fucking speak up. Fucking say something. If someone says something about a trans person, don't get mad at them. Fucking explain. Tell them the goddamn truth. And the worst you can do is make them mad. Fuck them anyways. If you change their mind,
friendly,
and
then get in your face.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
But if you open their mind, just one person, you can open hundreds of people's minds, because the word of mouth is it's like cash. It's king. Word of mouth is king.
Sometimes with conservatives, you can start to plant seeds. What you do is you go, "Oh, I acknowledge that you are bashing on gays or trans folks, whatever." But you start to kind of argue the point without the people as the figurehead, and you'll often find what they're actually enraged about is actually something not specific to the person, and that sometimes can allow you to have conversations and maybe approach it in the logical sense instead of the rhetorical, and it's kind of a weird technique, but it, for me, has opened up conversations where otherwise it would just be a shutdown brawl.
I want to answer.
Yeah, please.
Thunder
I was
Tits.
trying to get back around to this. Please, yes.
What has been taken away? Well, let's see. How about all the children that can't receive any kind of treatment at all anymore in some states? How about some of the children who aren't allowed to participate in activities appropriate to their gender and age? How about the adults who are now living under state laws that limit what physicians can and can't do with adult transgender people? That sort of thing. Any other requests?
There's also the housing rules, which is that the American Housing Organizations for people who are disenfranchised can now just say, "You're trans, fuck off."
Yeah. And
legally,
how about the fact
that
trans people can still be fired from any job just because they're trans? And how about the fact that schools can fuck with your records, that police can still beat the property, that in 33 states in this country you are allowed to kill a trans person because they are trans and you panicked.
That's right.
So there's just a few rights that we would like to have. Trans rights are human rights. They're no different than the rights you have. We just want them ourselves. We don't want anything more than what you got.
Yes, I'm not trying to we're not taking, see, that's what people think. If you get rights, mine are taken, your rights aren't taken away. You're not going to not have your fucking rights. Get over yourself. Drop your fucking privilege and let other people live a fucking good life and leave them the fuck alone.
With the
it's
conversations
fucking ridiculous. I'm just so riled up about this. I'm sorry.
The conversations I've had with religious people, right? Like, they act like to be gay or to be trans is like an infringement on their rights. So then I start talking about it and I say, what gay or trans person's forcing you to live a gay or trans life? Like the answer's like a fat zero. So like
it's like that goes along with that argument. The fucking BBC. The BBC is a blight on the UK at the moment. They should just get rid of the fucking thing. But that recent article where they were trying to say that trans people are forcing lesbians to have sex with them. No,
it's such
there is
bullshit.
no trans person on the planet, no trans woman on this planet that would want a bigoted lesbian to have sex with them. They wouldn't even want to be in the same room as them.
What it's about is that this group of TERFs got together, made up this bogus study where they asked 80 people who happened to be in their organization about their own anecdotal incidents, whether they were true or not. And found that trans people are attacking lesbians and things like this. They didn't ask any trans people about it. They didn't ask any other markets about it. They just took whatever these TERFs, who are a known anti-trans group, as whatever they said is absolute truth. They didn't challenge it. They didn't investigate it. They didn't research it. They just printed it. And that's what the BBC is. The BBC has become an anti-trans organization.
Oh, it has. But the worst part about it is
hold on. One second. I know you two can keep going, and I'm gonna let you. No, Hans is not. He was not being a dick. He was just asking. We know that, but it's just something we're very passionate about because obviously, like most of us in here are trans.
Yeah,
we just get riled up. We're not upset with you. It's just a very fucking sensitive subject. So
I have no opinion if Hans
I don't mind
is a prick
if
or not.
anybody asks any questions, as long as you're respectful, and you have been respectful. So you're fine. Don't worry about it.
It's tough to ask questions from conservative land. So sometimes I'll ask questions for trans folks from conservatives that I hear. So like I asked Ben a question about hormones,
right.
And if you, I feel, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the trans community has been so under attack and by so many different directions, whether it's conservative Christians, whether it's lesbians that feel like they're threatened, whatever it is, like they're under attack by so many different groups of people that when somebody does ask a question that hints and sounds like it's going to the way of like Joe Rogan, or it's going the way of like, one of these, like, I'm going to just slide in some slippery argument here of, why you're not really a woman, or, something awful. That if it sounds a little bit like it can be kind of triggering, but sometimes I want to ask these questions just so I can better have a rebuttal, because I feel like sometimes I don't have the best rebuttals for these questions.
You don't have enough ammunition,
and I don't want to be like a
look,
fuck you, like
look, we all know that you advocate for. You come out and hang out with us. We always have good conversations with you. We know you're not fucking being an asshole. You can ask anything you want. If somebody doesn't want to answer it, they don't have to. I'll fucking answer it. I don't care. I'd rather teach you so you can teach others, and you can fucking. That's part of people being an advocate. If we don't teach the advocates what the truth is, how the fuck are they going to advocate? So I have no problem talking to you. You're welcome to ask anything you want here.
Yeah, and Spackle, what you said about, you asking them if any gay or trans person was making them, live that lifestyle. That traction was actually getting a lot of that question was actually starting to get a lot of traction with people. And that's why they focus so much now on the stuff of not allowing kids to transition, because, now they're claiming that, well, what we're doing is destroying the children.
Yeah, so I grew up as a tomboy, right? And one of my family members used this argument to me, and I grew up as a tomboy, identify as a woman, I feel like I'm a woman. But like I've always been that I'm playing with G.I. Joes and climbing trees kind of person. And that being said, there is sort of there's this fear that like folks like say, we'll use Angelina Jolie as an example, who is letting their kid kind of figure out what they identify as. There's that fear that they believe that the parent is now pushing that person into it. So that person could be just a tree climbing tomboy, but the parent's going to say, well, you're a boy because you behave in these society expected roles as a boy, right? And so like there's this fear, and dare I say it's hysterical in some ways, but but they base it on what they know of people, and then they kind of roll and snowball off of it, I guess.
What I hear you asking, Spackle, is that you're wondering how should you deal with these people when they're asking you questions that you don't have the information for? Am I correct?
Yeah, like,
okay.
And these are people that I care about, but I end up compartmentalizing, going, "This is batshit crazy, but I love you still." But like, how do we?
What you can do with these folks is to, first of all, admit to them, look, I am not an expert. I do not have all the answers. However, I do know many people who are trans. I do know many people who are allies of trans people. And what I can tell you is that when I hear them answering that question, they're answering that you are absolutely 100% incorrect. Okay, that they are saying this, they have told me this, and I can only relay it to you. I don't have the facts memorized.
Yes.
But if we look at this together, if we go out and research it together and do some actual reading of legitimate medical information and scientific information, we'll find that these things are true. Don't believe the fringe politics. Just do not believe them, because they are there purely to manipulate you through emotional reaction. And that's how you answer.
I'm only cutting in because I need to go take
No,
care
wait.
of something.
Let Ben speak. He hasn't said anything in a long time. Go ahead, Ben.
No, I was just saying I need to leave.
Oh, you need to leave. Okay.
Bye, Ben.
Oh, yeah, it's getting late.
Okay.
Thanks,
night,
buddy.
Bye, everyone.
Be like a tree.
Bye
Bye-bye.
man. Take care. Talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Okay, go ahead, guys.
Holy Spackle. In regards to what you were talking about with parents pushing kids, the simple response to that is that the system doesn't even allow for it to work that way, because the kids. When we talk about gatekeeping is bad for trans people, gatekeeping is a priority with kids. So when the medical fraternity get involved with how kids identify and who they're going to be, they actually take the kids aside and they analyze the kids themselves. They see how much is them and how much of it is an influence from the parents. Because I won't say there hasn't been cases where parents have influenced their kids. There are documented cases of where a lesbian couple were so anti-men that they deliberately forced their young son to grow up as a girl because they couldn't deal with it. And even when they ended up in prison because they mutilated their child. So, that was a dreadful case. The kid actually died because of it, and it was horrible. So I won't say this doesn't happen. It definitely does happen. But in general, kids are figured out. And what parents are saying, and what Angelina Jolie is, I'm giving my kid a chance to explore who they are themselves, which is no different to you as a tomboy, dressing like a tomboy, climbing trees, doing all that, playing with trucks. It's exactly the same thing. But what we're instead of just saying, oh, they're a tomboy, we're saying we're giving them a chance to figure out who they are. And intervention comes later. It doesn't come until puberty, where you might go to puberty blockers to give the kid a little bit longer to figure out who they are, which is all you're doing. Right. You're just giving them a little bit longer to figure themselves out. So the process is very much guided, but through the entire medical fraternity, not just parents. So the parents just can't say, hey, my kid's trans, give them some drugs, because that won't happen. It never happens. No. And in most of the countries where the biggest complaints are, like the UK, you're lucky if a kid can even get in the programs, because they're not providing the fundage and they're not getting through the people, because the whole system is bigoted to try and stop trans people from getting the care that they need. And that's part of the problem. It's why you have the high suicides, because there isn't the support for trans people with their medical care. And there needs to be that medical care. I am an advocate for it. I think that therapy should be a requirement for anyone going through any medical procedures, because we don't always understand what we're going to be going through. And if it's going to be life-changing, and most big medical procedures are life-changing, everyone should have to have some therapy. I don't think the therapy should act as a form of gatekeeping, but you should have to have that therapy, because you will need it to deal with it. I have a friend who had open heart surgery at the age of 26 and had to have a artificial valve put in. She had therapy, and it took her 5 years. She took her 5 years to get over the fact that she had this big scar and had missed 3 weeks of her life because she was kept in a semi-coma whilst they did all the surgery and everything. She took 5 years to get over that. If she'd had therapy, she would have dealt with it better, but it wasn't offered. everyone should have that option to
Okay.
have the therapy if they're going to go through stuff.
And I want to say, hold on. I
Tits-
want to say one. Hold on. I want to say one thing because you were talking about trans laws. They took
Yeah.
away a lot of healthcare rights, like almost all of them for trans people in Ohio.
Yeah.
So that's another one. If I don't know, I think Maya might have hit it anyways because she was rattling them off in the chat. But that's another one that happened, and that just happened a couple months ago. So this is not something that's ending or getting better. They're still fucking being assholes and fighting it. Go ahead, Jenny. I'm sorry.
Tits, to answer your question, which by the way is a very good question. No. Okay. And the reason is that puberty in and of itself to a trans child is the most abusive and damaging thing that they can go through.
Yeah.
It will
Horrible.
scar them for life, physically,
Yep.
emotionally, and socially, forever. It will damage them more than any sort of puberty blocker and time can possibly do. Because that puberty blocker in that time will allow that child to make their decision and to decide, no, this isn't right for me. And many have, but many others don't. And it's those that we need to pay attention to. The process that they go through is designed to exclude if it's not right for them. Okay.
And when the process is done right,
It's not designed to convince them they should go through it. It is designed
That's
to
right.
make them realize, is this legitimate in you? Are you really feeling this?
Yes.
Okay.
and
That's-
all
that's-
the modern studies, Jenny, the modern studies about desistance, people who start
Oh, yeah.
transitioning and they figure out it's not for them. The modern studies that have done full-on follow-up showed that the people who desist just because they're not actually trans ends up being around the 1 to 2% mark. That is a better rate of success when you think there's a 98% success rate than you have for any other medical procedure.
Even from the
Nothing
stuff
else
that works.
has that higher level of 98% of it being the right thing to do compared. I mean, even people like who have open heart surgery, which is life-saving, and you have to have it.
Mhm.
The regret rate for people of that is about 25% because they can't deal with what happens afterwards, all the restrictions.
The
on them and
other
everything like
thing
that.
about
So,
detransition that is critical to remember is that for the people who do actually detransition, the majority of reasons that they do it is because they have social difficulty, as in parents or the environment that they grow
Friends.
up in.
Yeah.
That
Just the
there
state they
is
live in.
that there is financial issues that they cannot possibly afford the treatment that they're going to need, and so they don't want to get stuck halfway between.
Yeah.
It's medical, that some people's bodies are not such that they can tolerate the rigors of transitioning, and so they don't. But out of those people who have those non-medical, non-permanent reasons for detransitioning, they usually transition afterwards when they're an adult and able to do it. But now they have to deal with all the damage from puberty.
Let me tell you something. I have something to say about this. Growing up feeling like a guy and having a fucking period and having accidents in school and having to run to the girls' room, it was fucking mortifying. I mean, it was mortifying. It would be like, I don't know, being at school and then your dick starts bleeding. Like it was fucking horrible.
I think
It
it's
was
mortifying
horrible for
enough as
me.
a
It was so
cis
fucking horrible
woman.
for me and so fucking embarrassing. And I had a horribly strong period my entire fucking life. And it was just like raging, horrible shit. I had to go to the bathroom every 45 minutes for like 17 years. It was fucking horrible. And it literally, the best thing I ever did was get that damn ablation because it made me feel so fucking dysphoric. It was fucking horrible.
Thundertits, let me give you another example. I take that you are assigned male at birth with the name Hans. And if that's true, I want you to go back to when you were a teenager in high school, early in your adolescence, puberty's coming around big and strong, and about every 90 minutes you get this big fucking erection because that's what the body does. Remember what that was like? Were you embarrassed by it, or did you like it? Were you proud of it? For a trans woman a trans girl who goes through that, you want to kill yourself every 90 minutes when it happens. Okay?
I bet.
That's how intense this is. This is not something
The
that
rate
people
of attempted
arbitrarily.
self-castration for trans people is about 45%. That's a
This is not
high number.
something that people just decide to do on a whim because they want to go into the girls' bathroom or in the girls' locker room. This is
I don't
something
want
that
to
is
go in
life.
either one.
This
I don't
is
want to go in
something.
either one. I don't feel
Please,
comfortable
please.
anywhere.
This is something that is life and death for the people who are going through it.
Yeah.
And the suicide rate for children who are refused treatment is, what is it they say, about 40%? Something
Yeah.
like 40%?
39. I think it's 30. Yeah, about 39. Yeah, so 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That children kill themselves because they have been the treatment option has been taken away from them by changing state laws or by parents that don't understand. So this is not just some little thing that's happening.
No.
This is a life and death situation.
And it's been going on for a long fucking time.
Oh, only tens of thousands of years.
Yeah, only that. Right.
Yeah, as long as we've been a social species, actually probably longer, but yeah.
Yeah.
And
the fact is, sorry.
there are conservatives that don't want that result, but I'm going to be fucking real and honest. Like, there are conservatives that don't care if gay kids or trans kids or kill themselves. They don't care. They
Oh, no.
do
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, they think
And-
it's deserved. You're crazy anyways. You're
And-
worthless. You're
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And I hate that exists, but unfortunately those people are influencing the people that are a little more middle ground, dare I say middle ground, still bigoted, still have problems, but they might be able to sway. There's this weird intertwined thing where they kind of pull each other to the extreme. And I don't know how to unwind it. But it's horrible. It's just, and when you bring up like this is costing people's lives, you know, like people are getting disowned by their families, people are killing themselves, you know, and it, like there's like this who cares attitude because it's not my kid.
Well, never
Except
mind the
until-
self-mutilation and people like
Yeah.
trying to take their body parts off because of shit like this, like you're
Yeah.
saying. Like that, people do that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking horrible. And it's not okay if something happens to the conservative kid, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's horrible. But
It changes
you know,
though
any
when
of
it's your
us,
kid.
fuck
You
'em.
know? Yeah.
Hans,
Right?
Hans, are we helping you at all understand more?
I hope so.
No. We lost
Oh, Jenny, did you hit the end button?
Oh, Jenny, come
Oh,
back.
no. You were just about to say something good too.
She'll be back.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
How long is
Okay.
it thought? Isn't the problem going to happen down the road? Okay, first of all, they don't. Puberty blockers aren't used for very long. First of all,
Couple
they're
of years.
very
Oh.
regulated. They are only used for so long. They have a like plan of care with it, and they like set it up like, okay, we're going to start at this point in their life, and we're going to give them puberty blockers for like I think Ben said the max is like 2 years or something like that. But they'll do it.
They'll go out to 3 depending on how early puberty starts, but they will start earlier because they're pernicious
I'm losing everybody.
puberty where
Yeah.
it starts early, so they will run for longer. But generally it's like that. They're assuming most kids will start about 8 or 9, and by 11 or 12, the kid has a fairly good idea of where they're at, and then they'll look at maybe moving them onto lower dosages of hormones and things like that. So you can have kids at the age of 12 or 13 starting hormone therapy. It is unusual. Usually, I mean, the thing we say, we just stop puberty. You actually have to know that puberty has started before you can actually put the hormones on. So at
To delay it, right?
At most times, puberty has got to Tanner stage 1 before you've actually put the blockers on it. So there will be some puberty that they hit, but it's not very much.
And
But that usually covers, the
That's
first
so
little bit.
tricky, though,
You know, and
because like I started hitting puberty. I had my first period at 11.
Yep.
And I started having signs of puberty at like 10. And then other people, they hit it like 12, 13, 14. Like it really kind of depends. It's
It does.
tough.
So
Yeah,
they
quite a-
have to be
quite a
aware, and they have to start working on it.
But
It is true that for some trans kids, they don't because a lot of kids don't really identify with the gender at all when they're young. So they don't actually even have a concept that they're trans until puberty hits, and then they start getting these changes that they don't want.
Yes.
So you do get this late. You can have a late onset acknowledgement that you're trans. The vast majority actually realize beforehand, because more from the social aspects of their gender than they do from the physical aspects.
Something I've never seen mentioned though in any of the media reporting with puberty blockers is giving these to children is not a new thing. For 50 years, they have been using these same medications for kids that start puberty too young.
Yeah. Let me say really quick here. So Hans, let me explain to you how this works, okay? There is always counseling. There's doctors involved. There's, like people that know about hormones, hormone therapy specialists will be involved. There's a huge process you have to go through to get anything. The only reason that some of us have a little bit easier of a go right now is because we have doctors that are forward thinking. And you have to go to therapy. You have to get a physician's clearance letter basically saying this person isn't crazy. They really are dysphoric. And you have to do, like, if you want to change your name, you got to fight to do that because you want to go from a male or female to male name. So that's a fight. Like, everything's a fight. And they act like
it is.
They act like, oh, they just do whatever they want. No, there's so many regulations. He's driving me crazy.
Yeah. There is
so many
regulations
behind all of it. There's steps behind all of it, and it changes from one state to the other. So you can be in one state that's fucking horrible and move to one state over and get all your shit done, and then you can move back. And it's literally, people have to do that. People will drive across state lines. They'll get a job in one state, like online or something. I've actually known of people recently do this. And they live in the state that they want to live in. Because they're employed in the other state, they get the healthcare benefits from that state. And they have to drive to the other state for all their fucking care. It's literally like that. And it's horrible.
It's a lot worse for you guys in the US than it is for us in Australia.
Touche. But, the point is that it's not like we just walk up and they just hand us whatever we want. It doesn't fucking work like that. If I didn't work for my doctor and she hadn't known me for 4 months and became really good friends with me, this would have been more of a fight for me. But luckily I live in a more progressive state and, they're good. Jenny's back. Jenny, I have people that fucking pay attention and doctors that fucking care about my mental health. By the way, Jenny, you asked if that was helping Hans. He said, yes, thank you. Thank you. He did say it's helping him a lot. And he's
Hans,
still asking more questions. So
anytime, I'm on Twitter 24/7. Whatever you need.
Yeah.
Hey, Ox, can you throw Jenny's Twitter link in there for me, please? So if anybody has more questions, throw Jen's in there too. They have way more experience than me and Purple do. Purple and I are new at this, so
yeah,
that's why I'm letting them take the floor mostly. So if you guys have questions, if Ox, you can throw those in there. Just hit them up on Twitter. Yeah, we have a very open. We will talk about a community. We're very honest people, so please ask anything.
Well, there's so much bad information out there that it's really important to get the good information out to as many people as possible.
Absolutely. What were you going to say, HS?
This is not a pitting against each other kind of question, but it's more of a observation that I've noticed, and I wanted to know if you guys noticed this observation. It seems like, at least in America, I don't know how it is in Australia, but there's like this hierarchy of who gets shit on the most. And so like there's LGBTQ, and like you can argue about which part of the alphabet gets shit on the most. And I would argue it's always the trans folks that get shit on the most out of that. And then out of that category, if you're transitioning, and I don't know, excuse me for my phrasing, I'm going to say male to female. So if you have male genitalia intact.
Yeah, we all know what that means.
The other way.
I think she's explaining it for the chat, not for
right.
Okay.
Right. It seems like in America particularly, there's a lot more aggression towards that. Or if you are going female to male, there's less aggression. Is that what you guys experience?
No, I don't think that is the. Yeah, it's not the case, and B can probably answer it better. But there is the thing that trans women historically have been more visible. That because I mean, in all honesty, a couple of years on T, and most trans men can go stealth easily. that is not always the case for trans women. It's become more the case now as people are transitioning younger and surgical techniques are better, but it hasn't always been the case. And that's meant that trans women have been more visible. And
yes,
and because women in general get more hate from men, and trans women are just lumped in with, oh, not only are they saying they're women now, but they're also, if you're a bigot, you're going, oh, they're gay, obviously,
yes.
which is another thing to hate.
Yes.
And then you add all these things together, yeah, you'll beat them up.
Yes.
Whereas most men don't hate on lesbians, and if they see trans men as being lesbians, they are less likely to beat them up, and they'll still see them as, and that if they're bigots, they'll probably still see them as women, so they don't want to beat them up because they've been brought up not to hit women. But if you're a trans woman and they see you as a dude, then you're likely going to get the shit beaten out of you because they don't think it matters. And it's a form of bigotry they can do where they see that the social norms aren't going to stop them from being able to be the bigots that they are.
Yep. Exactly.
It's a form of misogyny that's being allowed for even by other women who are saying, hey, this form of misogyny is fine. You guys can be misogynistic towards trans women because we don't give a fuck about trans women. I'm not saying all women are like that, but there are an element of women, especially when you're talking about TERFs, that are exactly that.
Oh yeah. I want to address this real quick. So I'm going to read it out for Jenny because she's got a tiny ass screen. So one of the things you hear is that kids should not be making medical decisions that could impact your life in case it's a mistake, i.e. they are kids and don't always know. Now, first of all, that's one of the reasons they use the the puberty blockers. Number two, this is something that the doctors involved in, the patients involved. You don't go out and have surgery before you're 18. That's not fucking happening. And if some doctor does that, he's probably kind of fucked up and not. Because no, we don't know. And there are people that have turned 18 and started transitioning and then said at 20, you know what, I decided not to. But from what I know anyways, and you guys please, the gens correct me if I'm wrong. Most people that transition again and then live the rest of their life as the gender they felt like originally anyways. So that's
hey, Jen, I said I was next.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Jen's next.
No,
ahead,
I've
Jen.
been trying to say something a couple times here now.
Okay,
first of all, the question on the Spax asked about who's getting dumped on the most. It should actually Australian trans women should be dumped on the most because they are from Australia, So
well, it's fake anyway.
But as far as so that doesn't count for me.
Australia doesn't even exist in the flat Earth.
Hans, your latest question there is what you just said is exactly what I was addressing before, that it is the transition process that people go through of counseling and puberty blockers, family counseling, individual counseling, medical counseling, all that stuff that helps them to not make an incorrect decision. Okay. Secondly, you ask any person who has transitioned and you ask them, did you know you were trans when you were a kid? And they will talk about how they knew when they were 3, 4, 5 years old. Okay.
5.
As far back as I can remember.
A child does know what they are. A child does know what needs to happen. They are gatekept by parents in the system, and so they can't just go out and do it, which is fine. But they know, and they are the vast majority of times correct. It's the children who detransition themselves, who choose to detransition because they know. Okay? We talk about these kids are kids, they can't possibly make this decision. Well, but we're letting 15 and 16-year-olds who need to make the decision, we're letting them drive a 3,000-pound weapon on the streets.
And kill people. Yep.
Okay.
It's absolutely the truth.
We let them do that. I think we can trust them to know their insides that they have known for their entire lives. Okay. Especially when they have adult supervision and assistance in examining that. These kids know.
Yep. Yeah.
And why are the same people who are saying a 15 or 16-year-old can't make the decision to transition also saying that a girl who's 15 and gets raped has to carry the baby and raise the baby?
Yes, exactly. Pro-life, not pro-birth, not pro-life.
I mean, I could answer that if you want to. Like,
sure.
just I don't agree with it, but they're going to say that that 15-year-old's life doesn't supersede the life of the baby. That's what they're going to say every time.
Hold on,
And
Jenny.
you
I got
can-
another one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, HS.
The argument on their end is that, and I don't want to get too deeply in abortion because it's like my most hated subject ever, but their argument on that end is that you know, like your rights begin when they can trample over someone else's rights kind of idea. They'll start
Right.
to utilize that idea, but they'll apply it with the mother to the fetus and be like, well, you can't supersede that fetus's life. But we all know that there's a lot of hypocrisy because after the baby's born, they're really just pro-lifers and not, you know.
No, they're pro-birthers. They don't give a
pro-birthers.
fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they
what I
don't give a
mean.
fuck afterwards.
Yeah,
Okay,
once the baby's born, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, they don't care anymore. Jen, go ahead. Thank you for
Thanks.
being patient.
Oh yeah, thanks. Can we bring up hands thing again?
Oh yeah, it says it's hard
Bring
to
it
put
up.
yourself
Yeah, thanks.
in another's shoes, and I enjoy learning new stuff. So thanks for letting me ask questions.
No, not that
I'm
one. The
always so
previous
short.
one.
Oh,
The
by
previous
him?
one that we were the one that I actually wanted to address before.
Oh, this one, the detransition ones. There was
Yeah.
Maya's.
No, not
and
Maya's.
then Jur.
No, Hans one. Hans
Oh
one.
my god, I gotta go back up. Hold on.
Yeah, I know you do because I've been waiting a while.
That one, the kids one.
Yeah, the kids ones.
Okay, carry on.
When you're talking about this, alarm bells always go off in my head when people make this kind of statement. Well, should kids be making these medical decisions that could impact on their life in case it's a mistake, etc., etc., etc. Treatment for trans people is life-saving. There is no argument over that. Giving trans people the means to cope with their dysphoria, to give them the ability to grow up in the correct gender for them, is life-saving. We see it all the time in the figures for how much life-saving that is. So this is just as life-saving as any other medical treatment you might give a kid.
That's right.
And we don't discuss if we have to give a kid a life-saving appendectomy, whether or not they're old enough to make a decision as whether or not they should have that appendectomy.
Yeah.
We don't have this argument. The only reason we're having this argument is because this normative ideas that kids should be growing up in their God-given hormonal characteristics that we've decided that they should be in. The fact of the matter is trans treatment is the fact is trans treatment saves lives. We shouldn't be having the argument from this perspective. It's actually just wrong because the kids do know. The kids who are unsure will eventually be filtered out. That has been shown in every country where they've done modern recent follow-ups to that. It's pure fear-mongering. And these people who are fear-mongering are the same people who are advocating for conversion therapy for trans kids. These are the people who are saying we should be forcing them through psychotherapy to make them not trans. Fuck that. Legitimately, fuck that.
I have to address this.
For that.
Yeah, I have to address this because this is something personal to me because I can relate to this.
And
the reason... Yeah, and then you next. And the reason that I keep doing this because when these ladies are bringing this stuff up, I want you to know it's real. Like they're bringing up stuff I've experienced, and all I can do is go off of what I've experienced because I don't know as much about them as about the history and everything like they do. So, to being said, I saw a doc on Discovery Channel about a documentary on Discovery Channel about a trans girl who knew before she could even talk there was something wrong when her parents dressed her as a boy.
Yeah.
By the time I was 18 months old, when my mom put me in girls' clothes, I screamed. And if she took me my brother's hand-me-downs and put them on me, I'd go play and I was fine. And I did that for years and years until I was allowed to dress myself. And then every time there was some holiday and she put me in a dress, I had a fucking fit. I would literally, at the age of 5 years old, 6 years old, I would throw myself on the ground and flail around. And it was something I never did unless she put a fucking dress on me or girly clothes or a skirt or something. I fucking hated it. And as soon as I was in control of my wardrobe, I wore all my brother's hand-me-downs. And that's what I wore for the rest of my fucking teenage. And, from 10 years old on up. I finally got to pick my own clothes. And yes, it's fucking horrible. And yeah, I remember getting mad about that. And I remember her trying to take the clothes away from me because she wanted to put me in new clothes because I was too big for them. And I wouldn't fucking give the clothes up because I was afraid she was going to put me in a dress. And that happened when I was almost 5 years old. No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was right after I turned 5. It was the summer after I turned 5 years old. So I've never been comfortable in anything but guys' clothes.
Yeah,
So yeah, that is legitimate.
I convinced my parents to let me get around in basically what was the unisex clothes for a long time.
Oh no!
But because I was the only I could get away with me. But by the time I was 12, Mum got me to do up a list of clothes I wanted for high school, and it basically amounted to a girl's uniform. And Mum she did not take that well. She was like,
right.
She sat me down and had a conversation with me about it. And she said, "Are you going?" I said, "No, I'm not. I'm this."
No,
and
I'm
I tried
just
to
a
explain it to her.
girl.
Yeah, and I tried to explain to her, and it didn't work. And then a few weeks later, my dad came and talked to me, and he said, "You can't have that discussion with your mum again. You'll kill her."
Yeah. Jenny,
which was not great for me as a kid.
You have to stop, Jen, because Jenny already asked, and she's been really patient. Go ahead, Jenny.
Hans, I need to ask you a question, and I need you to answer it quickly so that we can continue on the discussion. All these laws that are out there and on trying to get on the books in all the red states, first of all, are you aware that they all almost say the exact same thing word for word? Okay, that's the first question. Second question, do you know who wrote these laws? Okay, answer yes or no to each one of those.
Jenny will tell you. You guys done let me get fucking two brilliant ass fucking women in here. You're screwed. They're gonna tell you all about it.
I'm shutting up and being educated.
That's what I'm doing. I mean, I don't know shit. I'm only fucking a month and a half into this shit.
Has Hans come up with an answer yet?
I am not aware of laws.
It's amazing the things that tie us up and stop us becoming ourselves in a big sense. Because
he said
what you need a little background.
Hold on. He said the second thing he answered, I am assuming GOP/church. Now go ahead, Jenny.
Okay, fair enough. What you need to understand is where this movement of today has come from. Okay. The current thrust of it being trans rights and removing trans rights and getting control of these trans people started out with a small group of radical lesbians in the UK. These radical lesbians, as an attitude, as a group within a group, a subgroup, have existed since I transitioned in the 70s. Okay. They were women who hated trans people, that would never listen to anything about being trans, that just plain hated us from the day they first heard about us. Okay. And that's fine. If they don't want to like us, that's just fine. But even back then, they tried to start taking our rights away, that no, you can't let those people into our lives, into our world. When they were representing maybe 5% of the lesbian population, okay? The rest of the lesbian population said, yeah, you're fine. Who cares? You know, you're a woman. That's all right. So their movement grew a little bit because it started getting some traction. And it started getting traction because people were pumping money into it. What people were pumping money into it? A bunch of rich Republicans, including the Heritage Foundation of the United States. Okay? So now this small group of people have a very big voice. Even though their numbers are absolutely tiny, there's only a couple of hundred TERF GC people in the UK. But they have all this money so they can make this voice very, very loud. And they have been very, very successful at that. And now that energy has transferred over to the United States. And you got people like the Freedom, family, I'm sorry, I'm excited right now, so I'm forgetting the names. But there's a couple of of very hardcore extremist religious zealot groups that have been anti-gay and are now anti-trans, that are deeply involved in this. And they are the people who wrote these laws. And they handed these laws to these legislators and said, we want these passed. And now those laws have proliferated to a bunch of other states in the exact same language, because they're the exact same bill that are just being passed on from hate group to hate group to hate group. The funding from the Heritage Foundation has continued and gotten bigger. Okay? The arguments they have that they are using, they call scientific. They call scientific. They are not. Okay, the same as we run into with Trump and the big lie. You know, this election was stolen. Why do you think that? Well, because I said so. And everybody believed it. Okay? The exact same thing has happened to this science of transgender information from these people in the UK and now in the United States. None of it is true. Zero. None. They are lying. They are making this up. There has never been a trans woman who has attacked a woman in a bathroom, ever, anywhere. It does not happen. Okay? A child who wants to participate in sports, it does not have an advantage of strength over another kid because they were born male. They're in their adolescence or prepubescence and stuff. They never reach the point of hormones in their own body that would develop them to have an advantage. And as long as they stay on puberty blockers, they will never gain that advantage.
And
okay?
Even for adult trans women, if they've been on hormones enough, they don't have one anyway.
And I just brought these up to just a couple of quick examples of the lies that they tell. Okay, there's many, many, many more. So now they're dragging these laws into the legislatures and getting them passed through continuation of the lies, through the duping of their fellow professionals, because everybody in the United States and around the world, it seems, are too fucking lazy to actually learn truth. That it's much easier to just listen to what somebody you think is an authority says and to just take that as God's truth. None of this, like I said, is scientifically accurate. All of it is religiously based. Just like the 2015 decision of the United States Supreme Court that said gay marriage is okay because your argument against it is nothing but your private religion, which has no place in our Constitution. And this is the exact same issue with the exact same argument, except they've learned how to not mention religion a little bit better. They've gotten better at manipulation. That's what this is all about, is religious zealotry, trying to control the lives of other people. And they make it easy because it's about sex. And Americans are so fucking hung up about sex. It's easy. You push a couple buttons and they'll believe anything. I'm done.
Thanks for the TED Talk.
Wait a minute. No, Jenny, you blow me away every time you do that. I just sit down and shut up because I know you got fucking shit to sling. And I always appreciate you, so thank you.
That was also, very
Jenny,
well said.
Hans said, I am a very liberal anti-theist, if that helps understanding me and where he's coming from. So thank you for that, Hans, because I like to get to know people.
I just want to know that when you walk out of here at the end of the day, that you know more than when you walked in.
That's it.
I don't care if you're right.
And as Jenny said
I'm
earlier,
learning shit. I'm trans, Jenny. You're doing great.
and as Jenny said earlier, we're all on Twitter. If you've got questions, throw us a DM. Most of us are open to DMs, or even ask us in public. Although if you ask us in public, you'll probably end up with some terse or gender criticals who'll jump in and talk bullshit over the middle of it.
Yeah.
So it's hard. And then we end up I end up muting threads because I can't be bothered dealing with those assholes.
Could you
Basically,
explain to me
if you're
what gender
close-minded,
critical is? I don't know what that is.
It's what TERFs call themselves now.
Oh.
Yeah. Because TERF got such a bad name, they decided to call something sound good. It's the
GCs,
manipulation of
whatever.
language that the Republican Party has been doing since 1980, when Frank Luntz got involved with the Republican Party and taught them how to lie and develop trigger words. Okay, that's how long this has been going on. it's all.
I mean, let's face it. This whole idea of creating triggering things just to make people panic and get what you want out of them. I mean, it was all the racism in segregation was part of that. Reds under the bed was part of that. And then gays in the toilets, trans in the toilets. Oh, they're going to make you gay. They're going to make you trans. We've got to stop them. We've got to stop.
It's in the water. They have an agenda.
Yeah, it's making the frogs gay. No, real quick.
Alex, I'm going to tell you guys a secret. Ready? Here's the agenda. Are you ready? We all want equal rights. That's our fucking agenda. That's the agenda they keep talking about. We're not trying to fucking take over the world. We're trying to fucking fix it. And the problem is that people that don't want it fixed want to say we have an agenda. Yeah, you're right. We want to get rid of your ass. You're damn straight we have a fucking agenda. It has nothing to do with taking over the world or trying to run the United States or we're going to make everybody gay and trans. We just want to be fucking treated like humans. Carry on.
To be fair, I personally want to take over the world, so just so you know.
But Jenny, the scary thing is you fucking could. You fucking could, and you'd run it way better.
Maybe when you take over the world, you can fix the auto manufacturers too.
Oh gosh!
I can give it a shot as long as they go electric.
Yeah.
That's Randolph. I'm sorry. You're this big.
Hans.
So I can't.
Hans both. Randolph wanted to come in and just be an advocate and listen and maybe ask a question here and there. So he joined us. Thanks, Randolph, for coming in. I appreciate you, buddy.
No problem. This is an important topic.
Agreed. Something close to my heart.
Can I hop back to the BBC stuff in a second? Go Spackle.
I'm sorry, Mac the Human's is cracking me up. So Mac the Human's like the sweetest guy ever, but he's like joking and he's like, I'm home now and I'm ready to turn gay or trans.
Mac's great. He comes in sometimes. I met him over on my brother's channel. We've had talks before. Mac's a fucking great dude. I love him to death. He's so fucking like just open and loving and you know, he like him and his wife are good people and they're fucking doing a good job raising kids and he's a really good dude. I love it when he comes around.
It just cracks me
always welcome in.
Mac, I would recommend going trans. The dresses are great.
No, man.
The worst.
You know what I'm about to do?
Really, the worst reason.
Look, you know what I'm doing next month? Yeah, thank you, Jay. It is too much work. What I'm doing next month is I'm finally going to be like able to like pay all my bills without borrowing money off my brother because I'm going to be done with my house payment. So it's $500 a month I have. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy myself some nice fucking slacks and some nice shirts and some nice ties because I got to keep up with that woman I'm seeing because she fucking is classy. So now I got to go clean up my act, guys.
Are you going to go dapper like the way Ben goes, but dapper?
Oh, I couldn't do the bow tie. Ben just owns that bitch. No, I mean, yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you can be dapper without a bow tie. You don't have to go bow tie.
I'm more of a either casual button up or if I'm going to put a tie on, I always have a vest and then I just have a shirt. I never wear a jacket. That's how I'm comfortable. I like wearing a vest and tie with a nice
You need your arms to be free. Plus you're in a hot area, so.
Well, even when I was in a cold area, I wanted to dress like that. I just couldn't back then, and now I can. What's that, Jay?
Black tie is still black tie. You just got to get used to it.
I mean, I don't know about black tie. I'm not. I mean, damn, she ain't that damn fancy. Actually, the funny thing is, I just want to point out
that you can get a tux with the long tie. Like I'm a big fan of the long tie.
Yes.
Tux.
Yes, I think it looks way more like smooth and neat, and everybody's bow ties get messed up and like they breathe and it turns and it just looks. I don't know how Ben looks that fucking good like he does, man. His shit's always like
You
He's
can get a
on
clip on.
fucking
You get a
point.
clip-on tie. They don't get all messed up.
Bow ties are
I don't
goofy.
know what he has, but even clip-ons they wiggle still, especially if you have
Bow-
like the
bow ties-
tighter,
bow
the
ties
tighter
like your
shirts
head is a
Depends on the
crystal.
clip.
and
Bow
your
ties make it. Bow ties make
and
your
when
look
you
like
talk,
yeah.
when you talk, it rubs against it, So or you move your head and it'll still wiggle some, but yeah. But anyways, I don't
Then
know.
you need a bigger collar on your shirt.
I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see. Man, wouldn't that be great? She knows how to tie a tie because I suck at it. Get her to tie all my ties for me. Stand there and watch her do it. That's sexy,
No,
man.
you gotta
When a
learn.
woman
You
puts your tie around her neck and ties it for you, that shit's sexy. I like
No,
it.
no,
You're
you
fucking
have got.
triggering me.
That is the male rite of passage. You have got to learn how to tie your own tie.
No, man, I
I'm
want to
sorry.
watch her do it.
I gotta
Could
tell
you
you.
imagine,
Well,
right? Hot
you,
woman
but you gotta
naked
learn.
tying your tie for you.
I gotta
Fuck
tell
yeah,
you,
baby.
he's right on this, and most guys I know
Shit's
haven't got a
sexy.
clue how to tie a tie.
Oh,
I have an instruction sheet that I refer.
No, their woman
very
always
good.
does it for them. They suck. Actually, no, that I do know how to. I need to refine. See, everything I
There's
learned
several
about
different
being a
ways.
guy, I learned from watching my mom and listening to my mom teach my brothers. So no one taught me these things. So I picked up little bits and I would sit there and watch them tie the tie. And I really wanted to learn how, but it wasn't for me. It was for the guys.
I watched a
And it wasn't
YouTube
that my
video and do it.
mom was amazing. It's just that's how she was raised to raise kids. And she just assumed all the girls were going to be girly and the boys were going to be boys. And she found out later that wasn't necessarily true.
Oh yeah.
But she finally gave up she was like, by the time I hit 16, her and my sister bought me pink and white clothing and makeup for my 16th birthday. That's what the fuck I got. Or no.
That must have been
No,
hell on
hold
earth
on.
for you, B.
I like the double
15th,
Windsor.
sorry, 15th
There's a lot of
birthday.
different ones.
I'm jealous.
No, it wasn't my 16th
Yeah.
because you hit 16, you're like, coach being a woman, whatever. So my sister insisted, and they were so sweet, and I love them so much. I let her fucking put the clothes on me and do the makeup, and I let my mom take one picture, and I ripped that shit off, and I put it in a bag, and I took it home from my sister's house with me, and I immediately took it to school, and I knew this poor girl who loved fucking pink, and I gave her that shit, and she was in heaven. I also knew a girl that was poor and fucking had she had like this really thin, old, worn winter jacket. My dad gave me a rabbit fur coat, real rabbit fur. I mean, he spent hundreds of dollars on this thing. So he gave it to me and I put it on and I was like, this is weird. What the fuck do I have on me right now? It was the weirdest thing in the world. So I took it home with me and I went to my friend Hope and I gave her that jacket and she was like, seriously, I've been cold all winter. I'm like, you're not cold anymore. There you go. Hand it down to your sisters. There was five girls in the family and she was the oldest one. I was like, hand it down. Take care of it. Like that's what I did with my clothes. I just gave it away to people who needed it or would really want it, somebody could use it. But
I have a serious question.
But it was horrible for me to try to I was so afraid to fucking tell. First of all, I was afraid to tell my mom I was gay. Never mind trans. I wasn't gonna say that in fucking 1982.
You probably didn't even know what
No.
the word was in 82, B.
No, I didn't. You know how? Oh, here's a funny story. You guys, guess how I found out what a lesbian was? Didn't
Comedy
know, right?
show?
I know the story because you told me.
I had no clue. And I was taking a shit in the bathroom at school one day. And these girls came in and they were like picking on she's a bitch. Yeah, she's a fucking cunt. Yeah, yeah, and all this shit, right? And I'm sitting there taking a shit and I'm like, oh God, it was so quiet in here. I was just enjoying my shit. And here they come. Here come the fucking dumbass cheerleaders, right? So they come in and they're talking about this girl and the other girl goes, she's a lessie. And the girl goes, what? And she goes, a lesbian, a lessie. And she's like, what is that? Oh, it's a girl that wants to have sex with other girls. And they both go, ew. And then by the time they're done with the conversation, they go out and I'm still sitting there and I'm like, I'm a lesbian. By God, that must be it. I sleep with women. I'm more of a tomboy. I'm a lesbian. Now I know what tomboy. It's
No,
not
you
just
see,
tomboy. I'm a
you
lesbian.
know what's funny
now I
about
know.
that?
This is what the biggest sign for you on that day was. You were sitting there enjoying taking your shit. That's a guy
You know,
thing.
That's true.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you get okay shit. Sometimes they take too long. You're a little constipated.
you know what else?
Sometimes you get wait. Sometimes you get running shit. This is important stuff here, Randolph. And
Yeah.
sometimes you sit down on the toilet and you just have that good shit where you got rid of all of it and you just feel like, I just lost 2 pounds of unwanted weight.
You know what else?
Jenny's right. Only a guy would say that.
And you know what else is interesting about
Well,
that?
fuck. I wonder why that is.
Do you
know what
also
else is-
spend like a half an hour to an hour in there?
No,
You know what else-
actually, I do not do that. I am a quick shitter. I do not want to hang out there with the smell of my own shit.
I don't know
I
what
don't
it is
even
with
want to.
dudes.
I don't
and-
like my own
It
shit.
always
never mind
amazes
anybody
me
else's.
You know what else is interesting about that, B, is that
What?
for once, gossipers were a reliable source of information.
Yeah. Oh my God, Randolph. Somebody write that down. Fox,
It
cut
always
that.
amazes me how guys complain about how long we take to go to the loo. I have always noticed that guys take way fucking longer to
fast.
go to the loo.
I'm
Are they
fast.
supposed to have it easy? Fucking hell.
No,
It's
I got
like this
I'm
time of
ADHD.
enjoyment.
The only
Yeah.
time you can get me to sit on the toilet is if one, I'm constipated, and two, I have my phone so I can play a game. And then I'll sit on the toilet for
You
like
take your phone in the
maybe-
bathroom.
no, maybe 7 or 8 minutes. Maybe 7 or 8 minutes is like max.
Yeah, there
time
has
in
to
the
be a good reason, like constipation or some
we're
sort
ever
of
hang-
upset stomach for me to spend prolonged
Yeah.
periods of time on the loo.
Jen,
It's
if we're ever
disgusting.
hanging out and I'm in the bathroom a long time, I'm either constipated or dead. You might want to check on me. Okay.
Yeah, I
that's
might
what I'm
want to
saying.
check it. Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate you.
I'll do
I
that.
do not hate. If I'm in the bathroom really long and you don't see my girlfriend around, don't bother me. But otherwise, you might want to check on me.
You know how bad guys like to be
You
on the
might have
toilet?
time to be in the
Elvis-
bathroom
guys,
and we hang out,
Hey
mate.
guys, she's
Remember,
she's got this really big walk-in shower.
B, hold on.
Anyways, I'm sorry. Yes,
You,
Jenny.
you
go
know
ahead.
how bad guys like to be on the toilet? Elvis died on the toilet, okay?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
pushing so hard, he fucking
Now
yeah.
tell me
he-
it's not a
yeah.
guy
He
thing.
literally gave himself a fucking goddamn heart attack.
Yeah.
Fucking dumb.
As I
sitting
said,
on the
B,
toilet like
if you and I
sitting
are
on the
hanging
toilet
out,
like this, bent over.
if you and I are hanging out, B, you're
magazine
not
on the
going to
floor,
want
and
to
he's
spend a long
dead.
time on
Underwear
the
around
loo.
his fucking ankles. I'm sorry, Jen. What?
I promise, if you and I are hanging out, you're not going to want to spend a long time on the loo.
Oh, see now I'm a taken man. I can't.
Yeah, I
fight that
know.
anymore.
I know
I'm
you
a
are,
taken
but I can
man.
still flirt. I can
Oh my
flirt.
God!
Flirting's
Yeah, you
not
can
illegal.
flirt. You can flirt.
can
It's
flirt.
fine. I mean, I flirt with people all the time. Why not?
I know.
You know who I like flirting with? Sammy Jenkins. Sammy is great. He is so funny, and he's like, "How you doing, there, B, you beast?" I'm like, "How you doing, sweetheart?" I love flirting with Sammy. He's so fucking
Sammy's
cute.
awesome.
I was like, dude, if I was like all the way a guy and a little bit gay, I would totally do Sammy. But I'm not that much into guys.
I think all of us
so.
would do Sammy.
B is like Rudolph going, she thinks I'm cute. And-
Yes.
Like it's just been woo. Like it's a chair dance even.
That's exactly how I feel. And it's really hard to not say shit about it when people are like, I feel all alone. And I'm like, oh, fuck. It's only been 4 days. It's very exciting still.
Yeah.
Aww.
And then,
Twitter-pated.
I see her all day long at work and we do little winks behind doors and stuff. And like, she'll be in there and she'll be in between patients. And I get done and I'm like, hey, Michelle, I'm gonna go out and smoke. She's like, all right. And I go over to her door and I just stick my head in like this. I go, what's up? And she's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, fine. And then I'm like, I better see you in a little bit. And then I go and then I stick my head back again. And she's still staring at the door. She knows I'm gonna do it. Like it's kind of fun too. Like it puts some fun in it. It's like a game. Like we have to be, it's all hush hush. So nobody's allowed to know it works. So, for now. So she said yesterday, like it's been 3 days. She goes, yesterday we're at work and she texts me. She goes, how are we going to do this? I'm like, I don't fucking know. This is really hard. It's so fucking hard. So hard not to say anything and not like
So you gotta
now I'm
plan
afraid
some-
to even hug her at work because when we hug we're like you know what I mean, and people are gonna be like, the fuck was that?
There's too many tells. So you guys got some dates planned, I'm guessing.
Well, so she's got her kids right now. Kids nobody knows, like you guys know, so don't share this out too much. Anyways,
We're live.
So
Who are we going to share it with?
Nobody watches. Nobody I work with. Actually, there's literally no one in our entire community that lives close to me. Nobody knows me. I mean, in person, you know what I mean? That's on YouTube. Anyway, so it's basically like a weekend. The ex takes the kids, and then we have time on the weekend. And I've been stopping by and hanging out with her in the morning before work because it's the only time we have. So I've been getting up at like the ass crack of dawn. And last night I slept like 4.5 hours, and the night before that I slept like 3 hours, and the night before that I slept like an hour and a half because I was just so jacked up from it on Sunday. Jenny knows. She had to hear all about it. I'm sorry, Jenny. Sorry. But anyways, I don't know. It's fucking new and exciting for me, and I feel like I'm a fucking like 17-year-old
fun
kid.
stage.
And
Yeah.
That's always good.
she said 17. I was going for like 15. Like I feel really young.
Yeah, you're feeling like you're in high school. Mhm.
You what?
You're feeling like you're back
yeah.
in high school.
Well, it's at the same time, it's
That's
kind of
always
fun
a
to
good
sneak around
feeling
with
at
it
first,
too.
and
You
then
know,
you start.
but it's fun to
It-
sneak around with it too. You know, it's hard as it is. Like it just like makes us go, God damn it! You know, I can't touch her right now.
Oh, but that can.
And you know what?
That can
Really,
be good,
honestly,
actually.
honestly, this is the most important thing to me about the whole entire thing. And since we were talking about trans stuff, I want to bring this up. From the time I said I'm transitioning, she is the one person I know, including me. I've even misgendered myself. She's not once misgendered me. I said to her at some point, look, I'm getting like my limbs are going numb right now just talking about it. I said to her at some point, I said, who's going to want to date a trans guy? And she said, why wouldn't somebody want to date a trans? Like, didn't pause. So she's always been an open-minded person. And I said to her, you know, when I confessed to her, I said, look, you know, I'm not always going to be like this. And so if you like this, there might be an issue. If you're okay with this turning into that, then we'll be fine. And she's like, all I know is that you're a great man and you're amazing. And I'm fucking crazy about you. And that's what she does.
Brilliant.
She calls me her man. Like, and it is so affirming and I fucking love it. And I never said anything. I never asked her to say anything. I never hinted at it. I just don't do that. I let everybody be themselves and I love them for who they are. And she is truly the most accepting. I mean,
you got to keep her.
I don't even know, Jen, what to do with it. It literally blows my mind. I'm like, how did I
enjoy
it?
Like
I said to her, hey, you went to the optometrist? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, did you pick up your glasses yet? And she's like, no. And I'm like, that explains it. She's like, stop. That's not true. But like, I joke around because we're both sitting there going, how did I get this lucky? And she keeps saying, oh, I'm so fucking lucky. And I'm like, do you even know you? And she's like, do you know you? I'm like, no, have you looked at you? Do you know you? Like, do you know you inside? Yeah, I do. Well, how are you saying it? She's so fucking humble. I mean, she's so fucking humble. And she's people literally fight to try to get in to see her. I want her to be my provider. I want Heather. Like, it's like that. It's crazy. And she's freaking amazing. And it's just, like, this is what I do every time I go to talk to her about it. I can't get a word out. I just don't know what to say. Literally,
I can't imagine me struggling for words.
I know, but I am. Every time I look at her, I go to talk. I go. I'm like, hold on, I gotta look away from you for a second.
We need film footage.
No, it's so intense that I have to look away from her when I talk. Sometimes it's because I just feel so overwhelmed. It's
That's
like
so
I get
sweet,
this.
though.
I get this like feeling. My heart starts pounding, and then I'm like right now, just talking about my feet and my arms and my hands are numb. They're like half numb right now. I can barely feel them, and it just happens to be over and over again, like rushes all day long.
That is just so sweet, B.
That
is awesomely sweet. I'm so happy for you.
Just never. I don't even never. I've never felt anything like this in my life. I felt lust, and I thought it was love. But you know what? I know now I was wrong. I used to say I was madly in love with her. No, I was not, because it is not. No, I'm done. I was wrong. I was fucking wrong. I was wrong. Man,
That chemistry
feelings.
is something strong.
My fucking- and it's weird. It's just the back of my hands and the outside of my arms that go numb, and then like down my legs and my feet. It's weird. It's
Isn't
like
it
an
interesting
electric
that
charge goes through me.
that connection with another human being, and that's what partially love is. It's like there's this connection that's unique, and it's amazing how powerful that can be.
You know what's the best thing? Okay, so when I was growing up and I got to the age of starting to have sex, my mom was like, you know, it's really important when you start a relationship with someone that you know them. You know, she said a relationship shouldn't start in the bedroom. The relationship should start in the kitchen. You sit down, you have coffee together, you talk, you get to know each other. And the rest is a
I
bonus.
like it in the kitchen.
That's what she would say. A relationship should not start in the bedroom. It should start in the kitchen over coffee. And so we have spent the last 6 months becoming like best friends. Like that's what we've done this whole time. We joke around, we get each other's backs, we make each other laugh. If someone's like, she lost a patient, and I went over and hugged her and told her in her ear because I knew she was gonna like want to fall down. And so I like grabbed her and held her for a minute. Like we've just done stuff. Like I had a bad day before I accidentally didn't take my meds for 2 days. And I went into work on Monday and I was a fucking mess. Go ahead and come off with some fucking antidepressants really fast. Not cool. So by the time I realized it, I was already at work and they were at home. And I was just stuck there like, oh my God. And it was a fucking horrible day, and people were being rude on the phone. And that part was not just me, but I wasn't handling it well. It was a problem. And I got really angry and I started to cry, and she came over and hugged me. And I said, I'm sorry. Let me get back to work. She's like, no, you're allowed to cry. And she like pulled my head down on her shoulder, like, cry. It's okay. And I was like, I can do that here? I can do that with you here at work? That's great. So it's always been like that with us. And from like the first week I knew her, it was always here. Hey, good morning, hug. Hey, goodbye, hug. Every single day. It's just always been like that. So we were always, from the beginning, we knew that we wanted to be around each other and hang out and stuff. Like we were just like magnetic, and we became really good friends first. And I think that is so fucking important, because if I would have went up to her without her knowing me and, oh, hey, I'm trans, you know, you barely know me, I want to date you, she would have been like, what are you talking about right now? You know?
Well, she might not have.
But because we became friends, and she sees me for me, and she knows who I truly am in my heart, and she sees shit and says shit, and I'm like, how do you know that about me? That's fucking weird. Really? Yeah, you're right. But you know, like she's very intuitive with me, and she just gets it. And I don't know. All I'm saying is, if you can start out as friends, don't jump into bed with somebody. I did that, and I thought I was in love. And when the sex petered off, the relationship fell out. And yeah, so friends first, and then decide whether you want to move on to that next step if you're looking for a serious relationship. It's best thing to do, because during that friendship, you're going to get some good cornerstones for a good relationship, as in a full-time intimate relationship. And that's like honesty and respect and trust and communication. And if you don't have those four, if you guys don't have those four, it's not going to work, because I've not had that until now, and I hope it could last. I really hope it lasts, because every relationship I've ever had has been missing one of those, and they've always crumbled. So that's where I get that from. It's just life
really
experience.
Hard. I've been talking to a lot of my single friends, and they're having a real hard time because, particularly if you're single and Gen X, or you know, you're not the millennial and Zoomer. This whole online first, and it's impersonal and stuff like that. Like it's and now with the pandemic, it's very hard for people that are single right now, I think. So it's nice that you found somebody in your backyard, so to speak, you know, where a lot of people have to seek it out.
So literally, she was like, I'm so glad that you found us and found this job, and we got to even meet and be friends or anything, any of it. And I said, you know, you don't thank me. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, no, thank my brother, because my brother convinced me to move here. My brother, when I kept saying, God, I miss working with med. I want to help people. I'm sick. I have fucking sick of retail. I'm sick of all this bullshit. I want to help people. That's what I want to do for a living. And I'd rather lose money. So I dropped down like $3 an hour in pay. And I took this job, and he encouraged me to get back into the medical field. He said, well, start small, because he knows how I am. I get overwhelmed thinking about like school and stuff. I'm too ADHD to do it. And so I have to, if I can do little courses, I'm not so overwhelmed. Even a 1-year course where I could get everything done in a year and get my paramedic. Even doing that is overwhelming to me. And then on top of that, because I'm not certified BLS in this state, I have to go through basic school first, then go through paramedic school. They won't let me carry it over from another state. So it's a lot. It's very overwhelming for me. So he said, well, start small, start baby. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to start small. I'll just work in an office. I can do that. I have like, I don't know, 29 years of customer service or something. Like, I can do that. So that's what I started. That's what I did. And here I am. And so she said she wants to take Richard and I out to dinner. She wants to thank him. Literally, I'm going to take him out to dinner. I'm going to thank him.
That's good.
Yeah. So
And
I'm going to head
friends,
off, everyone.
friends are
I really
important, guys.
desperately need a nap.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not long. Honestly, I'm not long for this world. So good night, Jen. I really appreciate you. And
Night.
thank you
Good
for
night, Jen.
Thanks,
thank
everyone.
you for
Good
helping
night, Jen.
Jenny explain so much. I really appreciate it. And I love
No
you.
worries. I love you
out,
too. Bye.
All right. Bye, honey.
Good night.
Well, there you go, Purple. All my best relationships started out online because it's nothing physical. It's all mental. And it's all getting to know that person and figuring out what makes them tick. And, you know, the bottom line is we all have our own little bit of crazy in us. You just
Well-
have to find somebody that's the same kind of crazy as you, and your crazies mesh.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
an
trick.
individual thing, but I think for me, a lot of it is because with my autism, I make a better impression if people can't be actually looking at me and trying to interpret my body language, because if you do, you'll get me wrong. Anybody reading my body language is going to be reading things that I was never aware of.
Right. Marie said, doesn't the sex generally become less frequent, less exciting for everyone of a monogamous thing as time goes on? I hope I am wrong. Let me tell you a story. There's a guy at work, and he is like 58 now, I think, pushing 60. And he wanted to get the little blue pills. And he, instead of doing that, he shot testosterone in the base of his penis so he could have sex with his wife. They have 8 children. They have been together since they were 18 years old. They've been together 40 years. They have 8 children, and he took a syringe and stuck it in the base of his penis and shot testosterone in it, and then it wouldn't go soft, and they had to go drain his penis out. So, PSA, don't do that. But are plenty of people out there that have been together for a long time and still enjoy intimacy and make love and
Don't do that with
screw or
cocaine
whatever.
either.
You don't have to be out of a monogamous relationship. The point is a lot of people get so busy in life, I feel like they get complacent with the romance, we've been together forever. We don't have to do that anymore. Always do that. Always tell that person you love them. Bring them random flowers, go home from work one day early before them and cook dinner so when they get home it's ready. You don't have to do it all the time. But if you do that just randomly here and there, it's amazing. I always give women random flowers. I always do it. I stopped by on the way over to her house this morning. I stopped by and I grabbed some flowers and I had them behind my back and handed them to her. And she was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Well, you deserve flowers. You like pink flowers, right?" She's like, "Pink is my favorite." I'm like, "Yeah, you said that at work 5 months ago. I remember." But you can't let the romance die down. That's the bottom line. You just can't. And if you get to the point of you're yelling at each other and you're having that only the hallway sex where you walk past each other in the hallway and say, "Fuck you," you might want to check your relationship, get some counseling, or you guys split up and go be happy and be yourselves. But
That's not the
if you
good
get-
kind of hallway sex.
but if you get to the point, like I've known plenty of people in my time that have caught their parents having sex when their parents are older, and their parents have been together since they were, because back in the day, everybody got married right out of high school. That's what you did. Hell, you were an old maid if you weren't hooked up by 16 back in the day, you know? So that's what you did. You got married young and you stayed together forever. But people did it because they did, even if they didn't want to. But there's plenty of people out there that are still in love, and I see them all the time. I'm very observant. I see people walking down the street and they're holding hands, or, you know, like they're walking together holding hands and he picks her hand up and kisses it. Like there's that affection's still there. That love's still there. There's a little romance mixed in, you know. And you have to do that for each other. If you stop that, you know, it doesn't have to be much, just little gestures, you know. When I get into a relationship, this is what I do. Swear to God, and it sounds horrible, but you'll understand why. I go into the relationship, I don't do a lot of special things. I don't spend a lot of money or anything, because I'm not going to, first of all, we all know eventually that stuff's going to peter out, and it's not going to be all the time. So why fuck with them and make them think that's going to happen all the time, right? Second of all, if I do that a lot at the beginning and then I peter out, then they're mad. Third, if I don't do that and we get to know each other, not for gifts or favors or whatever they used to call them back in the day, but we get to know each other for us, and we understand each other, and we start loving each other, and then I bring them a small gift. That one little rose that I picked out of the rose garden on the way home that's this big and has a stem that big, and it's a little rose, and it's the last one, the rest of them are dead, and give it to her. She still has that rose. It's dead. It's sitting on top of a vase. But you see what I'm saying? Like, those little gestures count. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. You have to just make sure it's from your heart, and they're going to appreciate it. And if they don't, then you might be with the wrong person, or you might need to have a discussion. So, see, now you get on a subject I know about. I've learned a lot of lessons. I've learned a lot of lessons. So what do you think, guys? Ready to end of the stream? And I need to eat.
I was thinking earlier, Jenny did make a mention of a lot of the bigotry coming from religious circles. It reminded me of something Christopher Hitchens said about the circumcision community, which he called the genital mutilation community. I call it the genital amputation community, because they're actually amputating a portion of
they literally are. You're not allowed to have pleasure.
Yeah, and he said they are almost exclusively religious. So, you know, this just sounds like what Jenny's saying fits right in line with Christopher Hitchens' observation.
Jenny knows her shit. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Buddy. She always goes, I don't have anything to contribute. But then she'll say that, and then we keep her on for a little bit if we couldn't convince her to stay. And then she's like saying stuff like this, and I'm going, that's why I love her.
and what Jenny said is consistent with what I've observed. Where when I'm debating with people on various topics, and it's always the religious people who are like very strongly, staunchly bigoted kind of religious people who are bringing up these objections against transitioning or against sexual orientation that doesn't fit what they consider normal, and on it goes, you know. They have this idea of conformity. They want everyone to conform, and that doesn't wash anymore in modern society, and it shouldn't, because you know, there's so much more diversity now that's been kept at bay all this time, and I'm glad that people are ignoring the whims and desires of the extreme religious who are trying to restrict everybody's freedoms.
Jur, are you serious? Nobody's ever brought you flowers. I've had women bring me flowers, and I go, you know, sweetheart, that is wonderful, and I'm so glad you were thinking of me, and I'm so glad you took the time out of your day to go buy the flowers and pick out the ones you thought I'd like, and that's so sweet, and I love you to death, but I just don't like flowers. I don't like flowers. Well, what do you want me to bring you? A steak? I'll even cook it. That'll work. Don't bring me flour. I'm not like, why would anybody give me flowers, right? Don't understand it. So, all right. Are we all done for tonight? Anybody got anything they want to throw in at the end before we end this sucker? I'm tired. I need to eat.
Thanks for hosting this.
No, thanks. Thanks everybody. Purple, what you got going on?
I'll have my stream tomorrow at 10 p.m. Central Time.
There you go. Holy Spackle, what you got going on?
Next week I'll be interviewing Nate the lawyer, where we're still hammering out a time. Nate is someone that I've known before he started his YouTube channel, and then as he started his YouTube channel and saw him grow. We politically are sometimes divergent from each other, but we have good conversation, and he's a sweetheart, and I'm looking forward to it.
I've watched Nate. I don't always agree with him, but he certainly knows his stuff.
Yeah, no, he's brilliant. He really is. And he seems like a pretty nice guy. I mean, I've never really seen him outside of his when he gets going about that shit. And I like it. It's pretty cool. So Randolph. Do it, buddy.
Well, at the moment, I'm a little bit overwhelmed.
Smoke a cigarette while he's going.
A little bit overwhelmed with trying to complete some fiscal year-end processing on my main company, which focuses on computer support and looking after internet servers and whatnot. And hey, cat alert, cat alert, cat alert. I usually type that in
Anytime I
chat.
pick up a pack of cigarettes, she runs. She hates it.
But that's a good trick. But aside from that, I should be I'm talking with somebody about getting on their show in November to talk about atheism and talk about why people are more important than ideas. And they want to get into this. This is an idea I've been promoting. It kind of fits in along the lines of some of the other ideas I promote, like people being their own leader instead of relying on other leaders for everything, because leaders don't always have your best interests at heart. And even if they want to, very often they can't, because different people with different best interests. Ultimately, I think each person is in usually the best position to make the determination for themselves what's in their best interest. And that's why I tie that into you should be your own leader. You know, think for yourself, be who you want to be. And this fits very well with your name.
That's one of the reasons I when I started thinking, hey, I missed that nickname, and I put it up and I was playing with it, trying to figure out what I wanted it to say, and I thought, oh my God, I could do so much with this.
I love the diversity.
Is exactly what I want to do with my channel. Just be.
It's excellent.
Everybody should be allowed to just be. Olive, you have not got to say a damn.
Sorry.
Randolph, are you done?
No, I was just about to say I just love the diversity that I see on these YouTube streams, and we experience quite a bit of it here in Canada, particularly in the West here and the big cities. But I think we need to see more diversity in the small towns. We really need to see it spread out, and then we'll really be in a better place, because where a lot of the bigotry seems to reside is in smaller towns that are kind of isolated and far away from major cities, and that seems to be a common pattern. It's not always the case, but it is somewhat fairly common. So yeah, thank you very much for hosting all this. I really enjoyed the conversation tonight, and mostly listening. There's so much to learn.
There is a lot. Hell, like I said, Randolph, I'm trans, and Jenny and Jen and those people are teaching me, because they've been around a lot longer than me. Olive, got anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to promote? I think we lost Olive. Jenny, last thoughts you have there.
Last thoughts. Don't be a dick.
Ooh, Wheaton's Law. It's Wheaton's Law.
What do I always say, Jenny? I love you right now. I always say that. Don't be a dick. So, everybody on the panel that was here and is still here, know that I love and appreciate you all. You guys are great. I love fucking having these conversations with you. I love the fact that I can just be myself, and we all have love for each other, and we're all good with that. Everybody in the chat, and I mean it wholeheartedly, and yes, I'm mushy right now, so I'm going to say it again. I love you guys, and I appreciate all the support you guys always give me. And you come in with great conversations and great questions, and you stay in your stands, and you still show love for each other. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate the brilliance that all of you have. Everybody out there, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and have peace in your life. And don't be a